What's happening with it? You already know you tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. And yeah, y'all know what to do. When you come in the building, hit the like button first of all, and then jump in the comment section. Let me know you in the building. What's happening with y'all? D McGee, salute, my brother. KG, what's happening with it? Salute. And you already know, finna cook today. We gonna cook today. Just got done watching my brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV give his predictions on these fights this weekend. And I'm gonna do the same too. I'm gonna give some fight predictions because we got a hell of a weekend slated to happen. Bumpy Thompson, what's happening with it? We got a hell of a weekend, so let me do that. I want to break down some of these fights myself as we get people coming in the building. Um, some of these fights, don't be surprised if we see a couple draws this weekend. We got some fights that's going to be some very tough, close fights this weekend. Harry Jones Jr., what's happening with him? And y'all make sure y'all hit that like button when you come in the building. As you know, they don't be sending out my notifications these past couple days. So make sure that y'all hit that like button, so they can get out. Yeah. PLG Ski, what's happening with it? Yeah, it's Friday and he off early. Man, I could dig that. I could dig that. Ready for this weekend, KG Jackson, what's happening with it? I mean, KJ Jackson, what's happening with it? Yeah, I'm ready for this weekend, though. 503, what's happening with it? Salute. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you want to link 503. Yeah, because it is we got some fire that's coming up this weekend, and I want to talk about the first thing I want to do is talk about some of these fights that we got coming up and give some of my predictions on what I see going down. Malachi Walker, what's happening with it? Salute to you. Salute. Yes, sir. And like I said, hit that like button when you come in the building. And I told y'all about this Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter fight. I tried to tell y'all, if you go look at Terrence Crawford's interview, you could tell he's not confident that that fight gonna take place. They know that fight ain't going down. I'm telling y'all, y'all better listen to what I'm saying. That fight ain't happening next. So don't get too excited about Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter fight. It's business. It don't make business sense for that fight to happen next. And a lot of y'all don't understand is that because a fight has been mandated and ordered, that shit don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. Because if one of the fighters drop out of the it's going to go to purse bid, right? Because I mean, neither PBC nor Top Rank are going to agree to work with each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to purse bid. And when it goes to purse bid, like I told y'all, Sean Porter going to drop out of it because it doesn't make business sense for that fight to take place to PBC. And when Sean Porter drops out of that fight, that fight being mandated means nothing. You can't make these dudes do shit. And the thing is Sean Porter dropping out of the fight. That's what y'all don't understand. That has no bearing on Terrence Crawford. So he don't lose his belt. Now, if Terrence Crawford were to drop out of the fight, that's different. He can't drop out of the fight because he's the champion. They can't make Sean Porter say, hey, you got to fight this man. That don't mean nothing. Let me send this link to money real quick. But yeah, so I mean, that doesn't mean nothing. But if you understand, like I broke it down in my video, you understand the business and why they would drop out of the race. It makes all the sense in the world. If you Al Hammond, you know what I'm saying? If you PBC, it make all the sense in the world. Now, Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford, as being fighters, they don't give a damn what network they fight on. You know what I'm saying? They just care about if they're going to get paid or not. Pay them the right money, and it is what it is. They fighters. They're not worried about all that other stuff. But when it does happen, right? When it does happen, you're not gonna hear, okay, well, you know, Sean Porter and PBC dropped out of the race. They're gonna come up with some other shit, right? And then it's just going negotiation fell apart, and then they're gonna say some shit, and then they just gonna stop talking about it, you know, altogether. That's what they do. We've heard plenty of fights that's been mandated, and you like, oh shit, we gonna get such and such. It just got mandated. Then all of a sudden, you don't never hear about it no more because it didn't make no business sense behind the scenes. But they're not gonna tell you that. Knockout boxing, it doesn't have anything to do if Sean Porter drops out of the fight. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not Sean Porter. You dig what I'm saying? That's what y'all not understanding. See, that's why they're not going to come out and tell you that Sean Porter dropped out of the fight, because if they come out and tell y'all Sean Porter dropped out of the fight, that's the narrative that's going to be spun. Sean Porter didn't want to fight Terrence Crawford. He's a duck, and that's not what it's about. It's about that PBC are not going to have Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford fight, right? Well, even if they can win the purse bid, right? So say if PBC can win the purse bid, right? Now Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford fight takes place on PBC. That's cool, but that doesn't benefit them like it will benefit them if they waited to see if Terrence Crawford is going to stay a free agent or sign with PBC. Then they can make the fight and they can get all of the bag, right? They're looking at it as like, we don't want a big fight like this taking place and we get half of the bag, or we got to pay Bob Arum, you know, whatever, 60% or whatever it may be. Nah. Especially if he's about to be a free agent. Now, if the case was that Terrence Crawford was still going to be in the contract with Top Rank for some years, then it would make sense. But they looking at it like, why would we make a fight like this when we could just wait a couple months, and if this fight gonna happen, we could put it on PBC and make 100% of the profit. Doesn't make no sense. So it has nothing to do with if Sean Porter drops out, that's not going to be his decision. That's going to be a business decision with his promoter, or, you know, his advisors. But y'all don't feel what I'm saying, because y'all really don't understand. A lot of y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Knockout say, I feel you, but Porter can't worry about what benefits PBC. Crawford can't worry about. But see, that's what you're not understanding, Knockout. It's not about if he's worried about it or not. It's about that. You see, you looking at these fighters oh, they can just do whatever the fuck they want to do. Yeah, that sounds good, but that's not the truth, right? If you got a man that's essentially, I don't want to say that Al Heyman is his boss, but you're going to move in business wise how they tell you to move, because that's the man that's got you millions, right? If you're signed under contract and you're a PBC fighter, you can't tell them, well, y'all going to make the fight happen. Yeah, you can, but they're not going to move. So it's not Sean Porter. Just like Sean Porter was advised to stop talking about the Crawford fight in public, when he was calling out Terrence Crawford and I'm on your helmet and this and that. He came back and apologized and he shut up because he was advised, look, we don't do business like that. Calm all of that down. They told Sean Porter to stop that. We don't do business like that. So it's deeper than what y'all looking at it on the outside of the surface as. You dig what I'm saying? It's just like trying to say what type of an example I can make with this, right? It's like hold on real quick. And salute to everybody that's in the building. Mike Ron, Macados Mac of the South, what's happening with it? Chick, what's happening with it? Julio Martinez, what's happening with it? But so what I'm saying is, it's like, you looking at it like, oh, these fighters can do what they want and they can do what. Okay, cool. It's like, okay, Sean Porter, I advised you to do something. You want to go against what I said, and I've done all these things for your career. Okay, go ahead and make the fight on your own. What network you gonna make it on, right? Who gonna put up the money to pay you? So y'all gotta understand what I'm saying. You could talk about, oh, well, Sean Porter or Terrence Crawford, this and that. Okay, go ahead and do it on your own. Who's gonna pay you? What network are you gonna who's gonna pay for the venue? Who's gonna do all of that? That's what y'all don't understand as fans. Understand that, and then you'll have a better understanding of how the business of boxing works. Now, as fans, I don't give a damn about that, but it's how it's just how shit is. It ain't nothing that we're gonna be able to do about it. That's just what it is. So when you keep saying, oh, he's ducking or he should do this and it's not that simple. If it was that simple, I'm pretty sure that Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford would have fought the first time they tried to say that Sean Porter was the mandatory. And they knew that fight couldn't take place. So what did they do? They moved Sean Porter down to the number 2 spot. Come on, man. Y'all hit my like button. Y'all hit the like button. Knockout Boxing 86 TV says everything you saying is facts. We the fans suffer as a result. I just want a fight to come along and say F what y'all talking about. Want to fight him and he want to fight me. Yeah. I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, it's like, man, we want this fight. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, Sean Porter is, of course, Sean Porter been telling Al Heyman, like, yeah, I want the fight. This is the fight that I want. And Al Heyman is like, okay, well, this is what you got to understand. Okay? I'm going to get you the fight with Terrence Crawford. But business-wise, we got to wait a little longer and see what Terrence Crawford is going to do, if he's going to come a free agent or if he's going to come and sign with us. Because we don't feed those guys over there at Top Rank. They're not our responsibility at the end of the day, because see, and it's fucked up for the fans because Top Rank do the same things. They do the same things. If they had, just like Terrence Crawford just had on, Terrence Crawford just said it, right? What I'm telling y'all right now, Terrence Crawford just said it in his interview with Teddy Atlas. He says PBC got all the fighters. So they're not going to feed Top Rank like that. essentially. And he said, I understand, because if Top Rank had all of the fighters on their stable, and when Top Rank does have in certain divisions all of the fighters on their stable, what they do, you got to come over there and you got to bring your fighter over to their network and you got to see them. If not, you're not fighting them. And they're not about to make it a joint venture, because they're not splitting the bag. Unless it's a big fight like Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, or Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Those are two fights to where they can actually come and work together, because the networks, they'll make enough money to where they can do a joint venture pay-per-view. Nobody's going to take a chance on making a joint venture pay-per-view with Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, because they don't know if it's going to sell enough to make your money times two. Because, see, when you do a joint venture pay-per-view, you got to be able to make enough money to pay the fighters, and then enough money for the networks to get paid, and the promoters and everything. So you got to make, 4 times the money that you would have made if you was just doing it in-house or on one network. So, I mean, the promotional money's you right, Knockout. But see, the thing is they should have. What you said is how when you say the promotional companies don't understand, it's better fights they put on, the more money they make. And you absolutely correct. But you know where they went wrong? They're way behind the ball, because when they started with all of this business fuck shit that they doing, right? With this promotional company, don't mess with this promotional company, and so this fighter can't fight this fighter, essentially taking away the best fights. Years ago, they've been doing that. So they started to lose their fan base, right? So now boxing don't have the fan base that it once had, to where they can make, who, it don't matter what fight it is, they can make a cross-promotional platform, because boxing has a huge fan base. Now they don't have that fan base. So only certain fighters in certain fights, they can afford to do that, because they don't got the fan base. If you understand what I'm saying. So they fucked that up years ago. Back in the 90s and the 80s and the early 2000s, we could see a lot of these fights happen, and it didn't matter. They could do cross-promotional fights, and it didn't have to be a huge fight, because we had the fan base, and boxing was, one of the highest watched sports. Now it's not. So now they got to be very strategic on how they do business. And you got to understand, if you're a businessman, right? Yeah, you really, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. These people don't give a fuck about the fans. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about the fans. At the end of the day, all of them are businessmen. The motto is, how can I make the biggest capital gain? How can I gain the most off of my business? It's not how can I put the best fights on for the fans, because if that was the case, they would be putting these fights on and they wouldn't care if they lose money. But that's not the motto of business. Losing money or gambling, not knowing if you're going to make your investment and your return back or double that money up, if it don't make sense, if you ain't finna double your shit up, they not finna put the fight on. You know what I'm saying? Leonard Ellaby told you. Leonard Ellaby told y'all. He tell y'all all the time, right? Like, he don't give a damn about the diehard boxing fans. Leonard Ellaby do an interview. He told you straight up, like, hey, it's the casual fans. Hey, Tank Davis can fight anybody he want, right? They told y'all they said all these people bought tickets to see Tank Davis, right? And they don't even know who he fighting. So do y'all think we're going to cater to the diehard fans? Nah. That's just what it is, and it's fucked up. That's why we suffer as fans, and we're going to continue to suffer as fans until one day, if it ever happens, boxing, basically what we're gonna need to have is one promotional company do a fucking takeover to where they have all of the fighters, all of the best fighters on one side of the stable, just kind of like with you know what I'm saying, to where one promoter has all of the fighters on one side to where everything is in-house. Until we get that, we're going to continue to have this problem in boxing, and boxing is probably going to continue to go downhill. Money, what's happening with it?
What's going down, buddy? What's going down? What's going down with the chat?
Oh man, just chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? Same, you know what I'm saying? Same shit, same pimp suit, just reheated.
Hell yeah.
What you on?
Shit. Nothing big, bro. Over here just chilling, man. Was looking at the situation. Was looking at the Benoit Hopkins little thing, but nothing ready to kick this boxing.
Yeah. Hey, DP Rocker, you brought up a great point. A great point, right? Like I just said, ain't nothing gonna change until basically one promotional company do a takeover to where they got all of the fighters on their side of the stable. And if you look at what PBC is doing and they model, that's basically what they're trying to do. They're trying to get all of the best fighters on their side of the stable, so they can make all the big fights. And until that happens, we're gonna keep seeing bullshit. And my man DP Rocker said some real shit. That's what Vince McMahon did. Excuse me, back in the early 2000s, in late 90s, in the early 2000s, when they had the Monday Night War, right? The Raw versus what was it? Monday Night Raw and versus WCW Nitro, right?
Yeah.
When they had those battles for ratings, right? They went to war with each other, right? And Vince McMahon won that war. And what he did by winning that war, all of the wrestling matches that y'all that couldn't see back in the 90s and the 2000s, right? When people was talking about, oh, I want to see Sting against fucking Bret Hart or whatever, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those big names, you had big names on WCW, and then you had big names on WWF, right? And if you was a wrestling fan, a lot of them fighters, you could never see them matchups. And Vince McMahon noticed that. So what he did is he went to war with WCW, and he essentially took over, and he got all of the big names, right? He basically ran WCW out of business, and all of the big names had to go to his company. So all them dream matches that you weren't seeing before, like what was one of the first matches that everybody wanted that was a wrestling fan back then? They wanted to see Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. When that takeover happened, you was able to see Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. So, you know, for y'all that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically essentially what has to happen in boxing for us to, you know, for boxing to get back at the status that it was in the 80s and 90s, because they too far behind the ball. They too far behind the ball. But yeah, man. What's good with it, money? But yeah, man, I was just basically cooking, you know, just things like Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. And, you know, it started off by, because I said that, you know, Terrence Crawford was, you know, he's saying that, yeah, he still want the fight to happen. He think the fight gonna happen, but he said, he was like, man, I don't know. Really, to keep it real with you, I really don't know. And it's all due to business. It has nothing to do with Sean Porter or Terrence Crawford, man. But so I was just cooking on that before you came in. But man, I really want to talk about a lot of these fights that's happening this weekend, money. And I know they ain't sending out my notifications. You dig what I'm saying? They ain't been sending out my notifications like that. So y'all make sure that y'all hit the like button. If you can, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no reason you can't hit the like button.
That's what I'm doing right now, hitting the like button from all accounts.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, so check this out, man. It's a lot of fights going down, and I went and I really studied a lot of these fights. Okay, I got you. Knockout. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for knockout. I went and I studied all these fights that's going down, right? And so shout out to Knockout. The link is in the chat, Knockout. So go ahead and click on that link, and I'm gonna give some of my predictions, okay? And I'm gonna let Money give his predictions, and Knockout he can speak on it. Knockout actually just got done doing his prediction show. So Money, remember I told you I said, man, I'm gonna really go back and study these fighters and watch their past fights and their tendencies, so I can make my picks, right? So I did that, man. I studied hours of a tape on Gary Russell, on Emmanuel Rodriguez. Hold on. So I studied hours of tape on Gary Antoine Russell.
Antonio.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, Gary Antonio Russell. I studied hours of tape on Gary Antonio Russell. I studied hours of tape on Emmanuel Rodriguez. I also studied Josh Franco and Maloney, right? Jason Maloney, right? I get them mixed up. Yeah, Jason Maloney, right? So I studied all those fighters, right? And the first fight in Regendow in Casimero. Yeah. Regendow Casimero. And I'm gonna talk about Regendow Casimero first, right? And what's good with it, Knockout? My bad. Knockout.
You good. You cooking, bro. Keep cooking.
And knockout. So I want to start with Regendow and Casimero, right? And it's gonna be a hell of a fight. And I was kind of mistaken, right? Because I had to go back and I had to study Casimero, right? And everybody knows Regendow, so I didn't have to go study Regendow. But a lot of people not giving Regendow a chance, right? And I was kind of looking at the fight, and I'm like, yeah, Regendow ain't got that big a chance, with Casimero, because, Regendow, he's a stationary fighter now. And salute to King Coleon, what's happening with it? Regendow and salute to my man Mad Chad Boxing and Sports. Y'all go subscribe to King Coleon and Mad Chad Boxing and Sports. So I had to really go back and look at John Casimero, and and I started looking at some of his fights, right? And then I start going down his resume, right? And really, he ain't really fought. He got 4 L's on his record, right? And he ain't really fought nobody like that. He did fight Tete. Now, that Tete victory, to me, that was a hell of a victory, right? But it was a quick knockout, So John Casimero, my bad, Casimero, that's how you say his name. I keep messing up his name. If you go and look, right, he's 30-4 with 21 KOs. He got KO pop, but if you look down his resume, right, and I'm going to just pull up his resume for y'all, and I'm going to show y'all why I came to the conclusion that I did. And I ain't going to pull it up. Y'all can pull it up yourself, because I got knockout on the screen and Money, so I ain't going to pull it up. But if you look at his resume, right, and you go look at his fights, he going toe-to-toe. He got very fast hands, but he going to be right there in the pocket to be hit. He got some good angles sometimes, like Manny Pacquiao, but nothing like that. But he's open to be hit. He's lacking defense, and he liked to brawl. And when you look at his last knockout, Duke Makai, right? He knocked out Duke Makai in the 3rd round. Well, Duke Makai he was 24-0, but that dude Duke Makai had never fought nobody.
Duke Michael.
Never fought nobody at all, right? What's up?
Duke Micah.
Duke Micah. Okay. Duke Micah had never fought nobody at all, right? Before that, John Casimero, he knocked out Zolan Tete. Now, Tete, to me, I like Tete, right? But Tete, he's 28-4. He got 4 L's on his record, right? Tete, he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he had a couple, L's on his record, 3 L's on his record already, right? So he wasn't just unstoppable neither. You know what I'm saying? And if you go down the rest of his resume, you know, he's lost to some guys that he wasn't supposed to lose to. Like he lost to a guy named Jonas Sultan, who was 13-3. You know what I'm saying? Before that, he lost to a dude that's now 21-5, that got 21 wins and 5 losses. He lost to that dude. And if you know, just overall, if you go down John Casamaro's resume, it's not that impressive at all. He's never been in there with nobody as seasoned, right, and as skillful as Guillermo Rigondeaux. He hasn't. So when you look at it, this is going to be a much tougher fight than people are looking at for Casamaro. Guillermo Rigondeaux can win this fight, but the only thing for Rigondeaux is Rigondeaux has been very inactive. That's what scares me about Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux, he hasn't fought in about a year and a half. You see what I'm saying? Rigondeaux hasn't fought in a year and a half. In the last fight that Rigondeaux had, a lot of people thought he lost that fight. He fought Solis. He fought Solis to a split decision, right? And a lot of people thought he lost that fight. The fight, and then Rigondeaux, he didn't fight. Before that, he fought in 2019, right? So in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, Rigondeaux has only fought twice in the last 2.5 years, right? So he's been very inactive. And if you look at Rigondeaux since he fought Vasyl Lomachenko in 2017, shit, he's only fought 3 times since 2017. So Rigondeaux, his inactivity at the age that he is, you know, they say he's 40, but you know, he probably way older than that, you know, but he's just been real inactive. That's what scared me about Rigondeaux. But this is a toss-up fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I'm gonna give the fight to Casamaro by a slight edge. But don't be surprised if you see, you know, one of these dudes get put to sleep, because they gonna go out there and they gonna stand toe to toe. Rigondeaux, he don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't move like that no more like he used to. So I'm gonna give a slight edge to Casamaro, but it is hard. You know, I'm damn near borderline. I'm going back and forth. Rigondeaux can knock him out, and Rigondeaux can win this fight really on the scorecards, because Casamaro, he's not that fundamentally sound like that. He really not. And he's never been in there with a fighter like Rigondeaux. But I don't know. I think I might edge him, but it's a tough one for me. And then I'm gonna let y'all cook on that fight, and then we're gonna move along. Whoever want to go, money, knockout.
I'll go ahead and go. So you made some great points, and I agree with a lot of what you said. The thing that I would say, so I got Casamaro by knockout. And the reason I got him by knockout, a couple of things. I think his feet are way faster than Rigondeaux at this point in his career. You alluded to the inactivity. And so with that, not just his feet being faster, I think he'll be able to get to Rigondeaux and close the gap on him pretty effectively and make it a fight in close quarters. Rigondeaux does have great timing. He's a great counterpuncher. He's a masterclass boxer. So can he catch Casamaro coming in? Possibly. I can see him doing that. But I just think the foot speed disadvantage is going to be huge in this fight. And then also, you alluded to the inactivity. We're talking about Rigondeaux has fought 3 times since fighting Vasily Lomachenko back in 2017. Casamaro fought 4 times in 2019 alone. Plus, he had a fight late in 2020. So he's much more sharper, in my opinion. And he does have pop and power in both hands. And he's not just stopping dudes. He stopped his last 6 opponents in a row. He's also knocking them down multiple times in those fights. So he's showing lately like real power, real pop on his punches. And Rigondeaux still slick, still a great boxer. But as y'all know, man, once you get up there in age, man, those reflexes and the head movement and all that stuff starts to slow down. And he showed that, he's slowing down at this point in his career. And you alluded to Casamaro's resume and how Obviously, it's not as strong as Rigondeaux's resume, but if you look at the fighter Solis that he fought, that guy had 5 losses coming into the fight against Rigondeaux and made it a very, very competitive fight for Rigondeaux. And now he's a year and a half older. And you alluded to the Cuban fighters. Obviously, they have to stay amateur for a long time. They can't get their papers over here. They have to defect to even get over here. So the papers tell us that Rigondeaux is 40 years old, but he could be much older because, as you know, if you come over here and you don't have a birth certificate and a promoter or somebody that's trying to sign you ask you how old you are, you're going to tell them you're younger than what you are because that's going to be more appealing to them. That's more marketable. So he could be older, but we can go with 40 if we want to. And just for me and my predictions, I got a hard time picking dudes over 40, no matter how great they were, because this ain't about what you accomplished or what you did when you were 35, what you did when you were 30. What can you do at 40? And I think Casemiro is going to get to him. I don't see if Solis was able to hit him a little bit, if Seha was able to hit him a little bit, why can't Casemiro hit him? And then when he hits him and he closed that gap, how does Rigondeaux react to it? So I got Casemiro late stoppage, 9 or 10, I believe, at round 9, round 10. I see Casemiro getting him up out of there. He's the hotter fighter right now. He's more active right now, and he's on a streak. And it just seems like it's his time, and he's the hot fighter right now. So I'm going with him by knockout.
Yeah, good assessment. Good assessment. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all smash on that like button and salute CB Sports TV off in the building. What's happening with it? Dominique Horton, what's happening with it? Mike Ryan, what's good? Sheena, the queen in the building. What's going on? But yeah, go ahead, Money. Let me get your assessment on the fight.
Shayna, what's going down, beautiful queen? All the brothers in the chat, my brother Knockout. Yeah, I kind of like what Knockout saying as well too. Casemiro been more active, but like you said, okay, with Casemiro, he needs you to be there, right? He needs you to be right there. Rigo last 2 fights, I think because of the crowd and what Rigo knowing how people saying his style is boring, I think Rigo choose to fight like that key for standing up there banging it out with him. So I think if Rigo go back to the old Rigo, bro, I think he went easy. It's just me. If Rigo go back to the old Rigo with his defense that he did not get his style, I think he can win this fight easy on the cards, and I think he can knock out Casemiro because Casemiro will get him all the shots in the world. But if he sit there and try to fight, if like his last 2 fights is a reflection of what he is now, that he can't move like that, he got to sit there and fight, then I would knock out. I got Casemiro knocking him out. I think he knock him out 6 or 7 round. I think he knock him out early because Rico can't take it. He can't take it on the chin. He showed that when Onito caught his ass or when anybody catch him flesh on the chin, he can't take it on the chin. And then, you know, I got nothing but love for Rigo, bro. But he did quit against Lomachenko. He did quit, so that shows that he can get frustrated as well. So if he can't beat the Rigo of old, bro, if them legs ain't there, if that IQ ain't there, the way he make you miss and make you pay, because he got power. That's what people don't give Rigo credit for. That motherfucker got power to where he can beat your ass and hurt your ass. So with somebody like Casemiro, who's an energetic fighter that like to come and like to bang it out, right? It's gonna come down to what style that Rigo fight in that ring. Now Rigo can get in there, like I say, make the head movers, make the adjustment, use the angles that he used like the early Rigo. And not saying he gonna beat that Rigo 100, 120, but I still think a 75, 80% Rigo can beat this John Casemiro because Casemiro wants you to bang it out with his ass and he catch you. He do got fast hands. I think that speed is gonna bother Rigo in the beginning. But if Rigo go out there, bro, and use his skill set and try to frustrate his ass, make him miss, make him pay, because he the king of the Filipinos, like for real. He say to have the third Filipino on his resume. And if he do that, bro, I give him a damn good chance to win this fight. And I'm going for Rigo. That's my dog. I'm gonna pull for him. I ride with you to the end, win, lose, or draw. But if he stand his ass right there and try to bang it out with Casemiro, get caught up in that shit. If he fight Casemiro, because Casemiro gonna try to bring it. He gonna try to be right there all night and make your ass fight him. So if he fall into that trap of Casemiro and stay right there too long, I think Casemiro will knock him out. And I think he knock him out around 6 or 7 rounds because Rigo can't take it on the chin. But if Rigo be smart, make him miss, make him pay, if he can have just a little bit of his legs and a little bit of them angles that he had early on, then I think Rigo can win it easy. So we'll just see what Rigo shows up to the dance.
Yeah. Good assessment. Good assessment. It's gonna be a hell of a fight, man. Quiet is kept is this fight weekend that we got coming up. Quiet is kept. It might be the best fight weekend that we've had. Even though we're not having the big names like Errol Spence or Wilder or or um, Charlos or something. If you look at all of the fights that's going down from top to bottom this weekend, it's heavy. It's real heavy. So that's a good assessment. Now I want to move on to my man Gary Antonio Russell and Emmanuel Rodriguez. Right, this is going to be a hell of a fight. And I went and studied Gary Antonio Russell and Emmanuel Rodriguez. I studied them to a T. And this is going to be a very, very, very difficult fight for both fighters, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, if Emmanuel Rodriguez, he is a very good fighter. Emmanuel Rodriguez is a very good counter puncher, right? And he likes to punch in between. He's a counter puncher that likes to punch in between when you throwing, right? He has fast hands. And so when you throwing, Emmanuel Rodriguez is looking to counter punch in between. He's looking to throw with you. So as soon as you come out as soon as you throw or come out with your combinations, he's trying to punch in between your punches and catch you. That's how he fights. He has good movement. He likes to move a lot. And he got respectable power, right? He don't got devastating power, but he has respectable power. But the thing that Emmanuel Rodriguez, he don't like to do is he's not that good of an inside fighter, right? He can fight inside, right? Because he got fast hands and everything. He can fight inside, but he don't like to be pushed on and kind of wrestled with. He not a wrestler. He's not like one of them that's going to perform well when you wrestle with him, right? So with Emmanuel Rodriguez, another thing is that if he's in there with a fighter that can punch hard, he doesn't like to engage first. He's going to wait for you to engage. And like I said, he's going to try to punch in between your punches. So with that being said, Gary Antonio Russell, he's the type of fighter, right? He has respectable power too. He don't got devastating knockout power, but he got respectable power. He goes to the body very well. And he's the type of fighter that likes to pressure you and grind on you. He likes to wrestle on the inside. So in order for Gary Antonio Russell to win this fight against Emmanuel Rodriguez, he's going to have to make it a rough fight. He's going to have to make it a rough fight. He's going to have to dig to the body. He's going to have to wrestle and, hold and grapple and make it an inside fight with Emmanuel Rodriguez. If he's able to do that, Gary Antonio Russell, he can beat Emmanuel Rodriguez. He has to, and y'all remember what I'm saying. He has to make it a rough fight because that's his best chance of winning. If he tries to fight Emmanuel Rodriguez on the outside and stay on the outside and he don't dig to his body and he don't make it a rough fight, Emmanuel Rodriguez is going to win this fight. But with that being said, I got Gary Antonio Russell winning this fight because Gary Antonio Russell, he is the type of fighter that fights like that. He fights rough. You know what I'm saying? He can get on the inside. He can grab you. He can dig to the body. He can push you back. He's strong. You know what I'm saying? He's built wiry, but he's strong. And that's the kryptonite for Emmanuel Rodriguez, right? He wants to be on the outside in that mid-range, and he wants to be able to, punch in between your punches and let his hand speed do the work because he is a good fighter. Don't sleep on Emmanuel Rodriguez. But I got Gary Antonio Russell making it a tough fight. It's going to be a close fight. It's not going to be.
Keith, knockout.
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here. I think maybe Keith froze up.
What's up?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. But like I said, I got Gary Antonio Russell, right? Pushing him back, making it a rough fight, grinding on him, going to the body, and just roughing him up, making it a rough fight like that. But it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a close fight on the scorecards, but I got Gary Antonio Russell winning by majority decision. So go ahead. One of y'all can cook on this. Give me your assessment on this fight.
For me, I think it'll be a unanimous decision for Gary Antonio Russell. I like the Southpaw, who's Gary Antonio Russell versus Emmanuel Rodriguez, Orthodox. They both can box. I think Gary Antonio Russell, to me, obviously you alluded to it. He's more of a dog. I mean, you look in his last fight, the dude was trying to hold him and grab him. He was throwing uppercuts and hooks from odd angles, like he don't stop punching on the inside, and I like that about him. Emmanuel Rodriguez seems like he just like I can tell that he got skills and he does have pretty fast hands, like you alluded to. It just seemed like when he fight top competition, he just a step slow to me. Like I can see that he want to counter, I can see that he want to fight, but he just be a step too slow here, a step too slow there. And then when I look at these two fighters, Antonio Russell got more dog, and I think he's gonna be the one that's aggressive. He's gonna be the one that's gonna have Rodriguez on the back foot all night long. And so I got to go with Gary Antonio Russell because I think his reflexes are fast enough to be able to avoid some of those counter punches that Rodriguez is going to be trying to throw. I love his right hook to the body, and I'm talking about Gary Antonio Russell. I think that right hook to the body is going to be one of the keys to the victory. And he has a very busy jab, like all the Russells do. I don't think it's as busy or as strong as his younger brother, Gary Antoine Russell. It's more of a speed jab, but he always has the jab working. He's going to have it in Rodriguez's face all night, follow that by the left hand. But the main punch I think that he's going to use as a weapon is going to be digging that right hook, that lead right hook down to the body on Rodriguez. And he's going to keep Rodriguez moving backward. And a lot of these fighters that we are saying are good fighters, a lot of them can't fight going backwards, and Rodriguez falls into that same boat and into that same bucket, in my opinion. And so I got to go with Gary Antonio Russell, making it a tough fight, getting inside by stepping to him with the jab, landing that left hand behind the jab and then digging to the body. Rodriguez will have moments where he lands shots, but I think Gary Antonio Russell is just defensively responsible enough to get the victory and win on most judges' scorecard. If he's the fighter that I think he is, I don't think we're looking at a 7-5 fight. I think he wins this like 8 rounds to 4. I think everybody will say, oh, that was pretty competitive, but it was a clear victory for Gary Antonio Russell. So that's my kind of overall assessment of the fight.
Yeah, and before I give it to Money, one thing I do got to say is that I have seen Emmanuel Rodriguez fight good going, and I've seen him fight very well going back on his back foot. So he can fight on his back foot if you really study and watch, a lot of his fights. He can. But one thing that I want to add in is sometimes he lets up down the stretch, right? Down the stretch when it's a very, very tough fight, down the stretch, Emmanuel Rodriguez, he tends to let up. And with Gary Antonio Russell, he can't do that because Gary Antonio Russell, like Knockout Boxing said, he don't never stop punching and he don't never get tired. He's always in tip-top condition. And that's another reason I got Gary Antonio Russell beating Emmanuel Rodriguez, because I think he's just going to be too much for him down the stretch, especially the way he's going to grind on him and make it a rough fight. But go ahead, Money.
Yeah, I like the fight. I like both fights, to be honest with you. I like Emmanuel Rodriguez, and for sure I'm right for Gary Antonio Russell. But Emmanuel's a hell of a fighter, former world champion. Took an L to he knew he got knocked out. His last fight, I thought he pulled it out. It was a split decision loss. But I like his style. I like his fight style. But with him taking the L's, I wonder how would he come out and what his game plan to be for this fight. Would he be a little bit more desperate against somebody like Gary Antonio Russell, knowing that if he win, he know that what it does for Gary Antonio Russell, but he also knows what it can do for him as well. So both styles gonna be complete. Because like you say, Keith, my man's Emmanuel, my man Emmanuel, he can fight. Emmanuel Rodriguez can fight. So it's gonna come down to his game plan, how aggressive you want to be. But I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say Gary Antonio Russell get the stoppage in this fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say he get the stop. I think his bulldog style, because he a bulldog too. He like to come bring it and bang your ass out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going with Gary. You making a statement? What's going on, man? Yeah, I'm going with Gary Antonio Russell for the stoppage, bro. I think he get the probably not a knockout stoppage, but a TKO. I think he gonna be rough and tough. Emmanuel Rodriguez, he like to fight too sometimes, but sometimes, like you say, he let up off the gas. And when the shit get hot, you know what I'm saying? When the shit get hot, I want to see how he respond, because I see Gary Antonio, he gonna be coming forward all day. Like I said, Carlos Payana, I think he would have stopped Carlos Payana, but Carlos just kept grabbing. You know You know what I'm saying? And the ref really didn't take no points or didn't break their ass. So I don't think that'd be the case in this fight. As much as I like Emmanuel Rodriguez, the veteran, dude got skills. I don't think his chin can take it like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think his chin can take it like that. So I think Gary Antonio Russell gonna bring that pressure. He gonna bring that dog because he's a fucking bulldog. He's just like, if you look at him, he's just like Gary Antoine Russell. His ass bring it too. So I think he's gonna bring that bulldog out, and I think he'll get the stoppage, bro. So I'm going with Gary Antonio Russell. I'm gonna say 8th round stoppage. You get the 8th round stoppage from Monty Brown.
Man, that's a bold statement, but yeah, you made some good points. And it looked like that we unanimous. We all got Gary Antonio Russell winning that fight. And salute to Batman, but it's not gonna be an easy fight. I'm telling y'all that Emmanuel Rodriguez, he can fight. I think this is gonna be by far the toughest fight of Gary Antonio Russell's career, by far. But yeah, we all look like that, it's unanimous. We all picking Gary Antonio to win this fight. So let's move on. The next fight I want to do is salute to Batman. He said he just got off the phone with Gary Antonio Russell. He said,
salute, Batman.
He said Gary said he gonna make a statement. He looking to make a statement. Yeah, man. I can't wait, man. And that fight is on Showtime. That's on the Showtime card. So the last two fights that we just talked about, they both going to be on Showtime on Saturday night, right? So now let's move over to Top Rank. So the fight that I want to talk about right now, that's going to be a trilogy fight, is Andrew Maloney versus Joshua Franco. This is a trilogy. Now, if y'all don't remember, Joshua Franco won the first fight, and then Andrew Maloney, he should have won the second fight because it was a punch. He basically swole up Joshua Franco's eye, right, with a punch, and shut his eye. And the referee stopped the fight, and they looked at it, and they basically deemed that Joshua Franco, he couldn't continue. And they went back and looked at the tape, right, because the referee had said that it was from a headbutt. But when they reviewed the tape, it wasn't no headbutt, it was a punch. They never clashed heads in that fight at all, right? But they still didn't overturn it. They still didn't overturn the fight, right? At that point in time, I think that was only, 2 rounds? That happened in the second round, right?
No, 4. It was 4.
You sure it was round 4?
Mm-hmm.
It was round 2. So they said that it ruled a headbutt in like round 1. But it was really a damn punch. And then right after round 2, they stopped the fight.
Right, in round 2, yeah. So it was in round 2 when they stopped the fight, right?
Well, I thought that myself.
No, it was round 2. I just watched it. It was round 2, right? So when it happened, at the point in time when it happened, Andrew Maloney had won the first round, right? He had won the first round. The second round, he was winning, but he wasn't winning the second round like he was doing the first round. Now, everybody was in the uproar saying Maloney was going to win, and I said that too. But then what I did is I went back and I watched the first fight again. And if you watch the first fight and you watch the second fight, it's identical. I know Andrew Maloney was making a lot of excuses saying that, the first fight he lost because, of COVID, situation that was going on and he couldn't train and all of that, right? Made a lot of excuses why he lost that fight and promised that he was a different fighter going into the second fight. But if you go back and watch the first fight and then you go and watch the second fight, it was identical. In the first fight, Maloney came out. He came out strong in the first round, and he was winning the first round just exactly like he was winning in the second fight, right? The only difference is the eye. That was the only difference. Maloney came out pumping his jab, moving, giving angles, showing his hand speed was faster than Joshua Franco. And I'm talking about the first fight, right? And he won the first round easily in the first fight. The second round comes in the first fight. Andrew Maloney, he's winning, but Joshua Franco is starting to close the distance, and he's starting to catch Maloney, right? He's closing the distance. He's coming forward on his front foot, trying to stalk Maloney down, and he starts closing the distance and catching him, right? And then essentially, they go back and forth. It's a hell of a fight in the first fight, and Maloney his pressure. I mean, I'm not Maloney. Joshua Franco, his pressure is just too much, and he beats Maloney in the first fight, right? The second fight, when the second round comes after Andrew Maloney won the first round easily, if you go back and look at the second fight, although Joshua Franco eye had swole up, you could tell that it was playing out the same exact way the first fight was playing out. He started pressuring Maloney, and he started getting to him a lot more. He was landing, but the eye was affecting him because he couldn't see, so Maloney was able to land a little bit more. So essentially, the first and the second fight was identical besides the eye. It was go back and watch it. It was identical. Go back and watch the first two rounds. It was an identical fight. The only thing difference was the eye. So with that being said, we didn't get to see how the second fight was going to play out, but I just wanted to say that because a lot of people were saying, yeah, Andrew Maloney was about to beat his ass. And when I went back and I looked at it and I said, nah, it actually was playing out exactly how the first fight was playing out. So this fight is going to be a very close fight. Don't be surprised if this fight ends in a draw. Don't be surprised if it ends in a draw because it's going to be a very close fight. It all depends on, basically, to me, who has the better gas tank down the stretch. It all depends on who has the better gas tank down the stretch. And from what I saw in the first and second fight, I'm going to have to go with Joshua Franco edging it out. Split decision. And like I said, don't be surprised if it's a draw. It's going to be a very close fight. It's going to come down to who's in the better condition, who's in better condition, and who can keep up that pace down the stretch. But I'm going to go with Joshua Franco. And yeah, I'm going to go with him. But I ain't too sure of that. But like I said, it's going to be a very close fight. And y'all go ahead and give y'all assessment.
So I promise y'all, we're not all agreeing on purpose. I promise y'all that. But I got Joshua Franco, but I got him by late stoppage in this fight. So Andrew Maloney, he's a good fighter, and he's very textbook. You know, he throws good punches, has good technique on his punches. His defense is textbook. He moves around the ring very well. Joshua Franco, on the other hand, he's a good counter puncher with good timing. He's coming forward, stepping to you. He has a nice jab. He throws high volume as well. And kind of like you, Ken, you made all really, really good points. I believe Andrew Maloney's best shot at winning against Joshua Franco was probably in that second fight. He did have good momentum. But like you said, you go watch the first fight. He started off fast as well, but Franco kept pushing him back, putting it on him, and he eventually tired him out. And he almost stopped him in the first fight. He hurt him really bad in the 10th round. I believe he dropped him in the 11th round, and he clearly won the 12th round as well. And if you go look at Maloney's face after that fight, Joshua Franco really beat him up. And so the thing about Maloney being a textbook boxer, being somebody that uses a high guard, he throws very, very predictable combinations. And that's bad when you're fighting a counterpuncher like Joshua Franco. You know Maloney's coming with a jab, right hand, left hook, jab, right hand, left hook, and he's going to pivot around. And he does a lot of unnecessary movement in the ring, whereas Franco, there's no wasted energy with him, bro. So you made a good point about like who's going to get tired. If I had to pick one, I would have to say it's going to be Maloney getting tired down the stretch because he hops around more. He moves around more. He's going to be the one that's trying to do all these pivots and trying to go back and forth, jumping in and out. Whereas Franco, he just going to walk to you, bro. He going to walk to you. He going to try to cut off the ring. He going to be coming behind his jab. And he throws a lot of punches and a lot of combinations. And again, like you said, can you go look at that second fight? Yeah, Maloney was doing very well. He was up 2-0. But someone go show me in that fight where he was able to get Joshua Franco up off of him. Somebody go show me where Joshua Franco wasn't moving forward the whole damn time. Even with that eye, he was moving forward. He was countering. He was landing his shots. He was doing his thing. So when I look at this third fight, I see it playing out the same way. I see Maloney starting fast. I see Maloney doing very good early in the fight. But as the fight goes on, I think Franco could possibly get his timing even earlier in this fight because they've already fought 2 times. So he already kind of knows the speed of Maloney. He knows how he moves in the ring. He knows how to cut him off. He knows his habits and his tendencies. So he might start picking him off even earlier than he did in the first fight, which is why I'm thinking, okay, you almost got him out of there in the first fight. I think you have his timing down even better in the third fight. I know you're gonna be walking him forward behind your counter punching and behind your jab. So I think he's gonna stop him, bro. I got Joshua Franco, the homie out of San Antonio, Texas, stopping him about round 10, round 11 to knock out Andrew Maloney, the homie from Australia who can fight, but I just think this is a bad matchup for him.
Right. Man, good assessment. What you got, money?
I got Andrew Maloney winning the fight. I think he gonna win on the cards. I feel like when he lost his title, he did. Franco did start putting pressure on his ass. Franco do got good fucking pressure. That's what he do. But I think Maloney confidence is up now. I think his confidence is up now. I think he feel like he's supposed to be the champion. I think Franco want to come out and make a statement to show him that there was some bullshit or it was this, that, and the third. But I think Andrew Maloney come back and get his title back. I think he go outbox him. I'm with you, kid. I think it's gonna be a tough fight. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight, and it might be a split decision or it could be a draw. Because I was looking at it that way. Like this one of them fights that might do end in a draw, depending on how good it is. But I think if it go that way, I think they probably edge it to Maloney. This is how I'm feeling. If it get there and it's a close fight, I think they might edge it to Maloney, in my opinion. I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight, man. I think Maloney gonna come. I think his confidence gonna be better than what it was. I think his boxing skills gonna be on point. The only thing about it is what y'all saying, bro. That gas tank. That gas tank. Do his ass gas down the stretch. Could he go that extra mile? Did he put in that extra scoring section? You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna come down to. Because it's gonna be a rough and tough fight. We all know that. Gotta give Franco his credit. He is still a champion, no matter what nobody say. He's still a world champion coming into that ring, and he gonna carry himself like a world champion. So he gonna bring the pressure. He gonna try to knock him the fuck out. He gonna try to get him up out of there, and he can't crack. You know what I'm saying? He can't crack. But what do Franco come out and do? Like, do they go back and watch that fight? Do he know that he know in his head that it wasn't a head, but he know his ass got caught with a punch? Some of them things be lingering in the back of in the fighter's head and shit to where they know it. So, in my opinion, bro, I like Maloney in this fight. I think he come out. I think he put on the boxing clinic. I think he went on the cards, but I do think Franco make it rough and tough for his ass. He's gonna make it rough and tough because of his pressure fight. He like to stay in your face, and it's gonna be interesting, bro. It's gonna be very interesting. But I'm gonna go with my guy Maloney. For I'm gonna take him on the cards, bro. I'm gonna take Maloney on the cards, getting his title back and new. You know what I'm saying? World champion.
Okay. Good assessment. So we got me and Knockout. We picking Franco. And Money he picking Maloney. It's gonna be a very close fight. I'm telling y'all. I don't see nobody getting stopped in this fight. I mean they know each other too well. It's gonna be a very close fight. Um, and like I said, y'all better tune in. And so last but not least, we gonna talk about Igis Kavalaskis in we gonna talk about the Green Machine and my man Virgil Ortiz. And I'm gonna make this one quick. I got Virgil Ortiz stopping him. I got Virgil Ortiz stopping Mean Machine anywhere between inside 8 rounds. Inside 8 rounds, I'd say that Virgil Ortiz stops Mean Machine, and I'm gonna just leave that at that. You can go ahead and whoever gonna go.
Hey, but they
I'm
got
gonna go.
Honorable Barbosa Jr. versus Antonio Moran. That's gonna be a good one too. And Abraham.
Barbosa he probably gonna stop Antonio Moran.
Yeah, they got Albert Bell and Abraham Nova. So that card, man, Carlos Balder, man, that card is stacked, bro. That shit.
Yeah, this card is stacked.
But go ahead, knock out, bro.
Yeah, that's a good ass card. But I got I'm gonna keep it short too. Then I got Virgil Ortiz knocking him out worse than Bud Crawford did because Mean Machine don't like that shit to the body. Crawford showed some holes in his game where if you push him back, you pressure him. Mean Machine can't handle the pressure, and that's exactly what Virgil Ortiz does very well. So it took Crawford 9 rounds to get him out of there. Virgil Ortiz, he doesn't hit as hard as Crawford, but he's a better body puncher than Terrence Crawford is. He's going to be going to the body early and often, pushing Mean Machine back. I'm picking him to stop Mean Machine in about the 6th round or maybe the 7th round, like Keith said. But it's definitely going to be the first half of the fight. He's getting his ass up out of there, and it's going to be in devastating fashion.
Yes, sir. And salute. And let me read this super chat. My man Soldier Boy 911, what's happening with it? Salute. He said salute to the panel chat family Philly cat. Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through showing some support. Dago 619 Cali Factor. He say Maloney wins. TJ Sports Nation, salute to you, salute. Yeah, so go ahead, money.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a hell of a fight, man. I think Main Machine is a tough motherfucker, man. He's a tough ass dude. He could take some punches, bro. And he said out his own mouth, somebody getting knocked out. He said either me or it's him, but somebody going to sleep. So I do got Virgil about knockout myself, but I think it'd be late. I think it's probably around the ninth or the 10th. Because I think Mean Machine could take some punishment. You know what I'm saying? I think he could take some punishment. I think he's tough as fuck. And he's a veteran fighter and he's sport in the ring. He's an Olympian. So he ain't just a normal kid. I'm gonna look, I'm gonna say this, and it's just me. I think he might be a better fighter than Maurice Hooker. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I like Maurice. I think Maurice, was a small 147 pounder. But I'm gonna say I think Main Machine might be a little bit better than Maurice Hooker, bro. So when I see him inside that square circle, but I will give um, Virgil Ortiz credit to where he said he didn't get the spar for Maurice Hooker that much, and he was still coming off that COVID shit. So, and I believe him. He don't look like a dude that a lie, so I believe him. But I look for him to be better this fight. But I just think Main Machine is one of the person that can take some punishment. You know what I'm saying? I think he gonna give it just as good as he take it, especially if um, my man Virgil stand there and just bang it out with him. So Virgil got to be smart too. He got to be smart as well. Use his jab and not just going there and just want to bang, bang, bang because that's what Mean Machine want. He wants you to come in there and just bang, bang, bang because he know he's a physically tough dude. You know what I'm saying? And he might be more physically stronger than Virgil Ortiz inside and the inside. So Virgil better be careful. Don't just try to get in that bitch and bang and bang and be smart. Catch his ass, make his ass pay. Make him counter and make him pay. Make him miss, make him pay because Virgil got the ability to do that type of shit. But I do give Virgil the edge in this fight. I think he's the younger fighter. I think he's the more smarter fighter. But he's going to have to be smart inside the ring. I feel like Virgil can get him out of there around the ninth or the 10th round because Mean Machine coming to make it. He's coming to make it a bang and brawl and fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what he wants. Bang it, bang it, bang it. That way he'll give himself the best chance. So I got Virgil. I'm going to say 10th round stoppage. But he got to be careful against Mean Machine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, man, but when you said that, I think because Igis Kavalaskis like to bang and come forward like that, I think that's what's gonna be his downfall. I think that's what's gonna be his downfall. He's gonna play right into Virgil Ortiz's hands. Um, that's what I know that. I know that Igis he like to come forward and bang, right? And Virgil Ortiz, his skills are just too like he just on another level skill wise, and he hit hard like that too. I mean he got pop like that. So I think that's gonna be Igis Kavalaski's downfall when it come down to it. Um, and Sheena, thank you, beautiful Sheena, for the cash app. I appreciate the donation in the cash app. Thank you. But yeah, so I think that's just gonna be what it is. He gonna try to come forward on Virgil Ortiz, and that's gonna be his downfall. But it's gonna be a hell of a fight while it lasts. While it lasts, it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Any of y'all wanted to add anything on that before we move on?
I would just real quick. I actually think just maybe a slight different opinion. I think Mean Machine actually fights better from the mid distance, where he can use his Olympic
Yeah.
pedigree and use his jab and that overhand right that he got. I don't think he fights that well on the inside, to be perfectly honest with y'all. So I think banging with Virgil Ortiz, that's why I'm saying it's going to end early, in my opinion. Like you said, Key, I think that's going to be his downfall. If he don't have the space to get his punches off, and I don't think he's going to have that space, shit, Virgil Ortiz gonna make him look bad. And I do agree with you, Money. I think Mean Machine is better than Maurice Hooker. And so salute to Virgil Ortiz and his team for continuing to step up in competition. They fighting a true 147 pounder with true 147 pound pop. So shit, I salute that because I agree with you. If you tell me Maurice Hooker and Mean Machine are fighting tomorrow, I'm probably picking Mean Machine to win that fight, bro. So I agree with that assessment as well. But that's all I got, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I do give Virgil Ortiz all the credit in the world, bro, for going. Because I say, damn, he going straight out the Mean Machine next. That boy trying to make a statement in the welterweight division, bro. And if he gonna beat Mean Machine ass, if he knock his ass out, hey, he need a title shot. He need a title shot. Because I say the same thing about Jerron Boots Ennis. If he would have if he go get Jamal James, but no, they gonna get Jamal James. But if he go get somebody inside that top 10 and stop their ass, title shot, man. Them dudes, they putting themselves in position. You gotta respect it, man. So I'm giving Virgil all the credit in the world. That young boy hungry, he coming and he want it. So if he take out Mean Machine in impressive fashion, bro, I think he right there.
All facts. Just Dallas, Texas is doing what we do, bro.
Hell yeah.
Big facts, big facts. Mark Wonderlick, what's happening with it? Salute. And y'all hit my like button. If you haven't hit the like button yet, you know what I'm saying? That's the least thing y'all can do is hit the like button. Man, so I'm gonna just get on and get into it, right? I'm gonna get on and get into it. We've been on here for like an hour and 10 minutes now, and I want to, get into the main topic, man. So I was watching Big John Fury in his interview, right? I'm watching Big John, and we all know that if you don't know, right now, Tyson Fury, he had a newborn, and I guess the newborn is not doing so well. She was in ICU. From what I hear, she's starting to do better. So you never wish anything bad on nobody's children, So prayers out to Tyson Fury's daughter. Hopefully, she makes it through whatever she's. I don't know what happened, during the birth, where she's, what's going on with her, but hopefully she makes it through this situation. Money, what do you know exactly what was wrong with his daughter?
She wasn't breathing correctly, right? So that she was on a ventilator at first, and they had an ICU. Then I guess she got a little better, but when they took off the ventilator, I think she got back bad, and they had to rush her back to the ICU. So this is a serious situation. You know what I'm saying? There's some shit right here that, look, I know how we feeling about Tyson Fury. I know what we saying about the date and shit like that. But when it comes to something like this, bro, and it's your baby girl, look, I ain't got no quarrels with the man, bro. But yeah, it's a breathing system. She not breathing right, so she on the ventilator in the ICU.
Okay, yeah. So, with that being said, Tyson Fury, he actually left the US and he went back over to the UK. Now, Big John Fury is not sounding confident at all. He's not sounding, first of all, the fight might not take place if, the situation with, Tyson Fury's daughter doesn't get better and he has to stay over there in the UK and attend to his family. And we can understand that, right? That is a legit reason to pull out of the fight. Big John Fury, he said he don't give a damn about that damn fight. He says that if Tyson Fury got to pull out of the fight, he's going to make sure that he pulls out of the fight, right? Big John Fury, this is what Tyson Fury's pops is saying. Now, as far as the fight goes and Tyson Fury's training and everything, Big John Fury, he don't want this fight to go down. He already said it on multiple occasions. He just said it on the last interview. He doesn't want Tyson Fury to get in the ring with Deontay Wilder. And the reason he don't want it to happen is because he's saying, on record, saying that Tyson Fury ain't training like shit. He said he's training like shit. He says he's over there with them guys in the Crump gym, and he says that he's bullshitting in his training. He says that he'll hit the bag for a minute and talk for 2 minutes. He says that everybody over there in the Crump gym, they think that shit is a joke. They say, this is what his own pops is saying, right? So you already hear the excuses. If Tyson Fury steps in the ring and when he get his motherfucking helmet knocked off, they're already gearing up for all the excuses, right? Big John Fury is saying that Tyson Fury ain't training worth a shit. He says that he's not pushing his body to the max because they don't train like that over there in Crunk Gym. He said they'll train for a little bit and fuck around and talk and be laughing. Now, it's funny that he said that because I'm not going to say no names, but I've told Money about this. One thing I do is I like to look at how fighters train. And Money will tell you is, certain fighters I would call him complaining about because I'll be like, man, they'll train a little bit and then they'll fucking, you know what I'm saying, they'll take a rest. You know what I'm saying? They taking 2 minutes rest. They just not going full speed. And I see that. So with that being said, John Fury also says, he says that, you know, he doesn't like how, you know, they're training Tyson Fury over there in Crunk Gym, right? He says they training him just for a straight knockout. He says they're training him for a straight knockout. And he says Tyson Fury has lost his elusiveness that he had, his head movement and all that stuff. He says that they training him. They've completely changed how Tyson Fury fights. He says now they got him trained as a knockout artist. And he says the thing with Crunk Gym is they train all of their fighters to knock you out or get knocked out. And he says he doesn't like that. He says that now that Tyson Fury is going to be over in the UK with him for the next 4 weeks, he says that he's going to try his best to get in Tyson Fury's ear and to basically kick his ass. Let him know that we need to go back to what we do. You don't need to be training like they got you training. He says, because one thing about Deontay Wilder, he says that he knows that Deontay Wilder has made adjustments. He says that they're training Tyson Fury to knock Deontay Wilder out, and now Wilder knows that, and he says that Deontay Wilder is dangerous already, but now he knows that Wilder and his camp has made adjustments to that type of fighting style, that come forward, knock you out type of fighting style. And he says that Tyson Fury and Crunk Gym, they're not doing nothing different. They're doing the same thing that they was doing for the second fight, and they haven't made any adjustments. He says, so Tyson Fury needs to make adjustments to where he can implement his old herky-jerky moving style, elusiveness, with the knockout come forward style. He needs to put it all together, and he says that's what he's going to do with Tyson Fury. He says because right now him and Tyson Fury are not training together, right? He says he's not a part of Tyson Fury's training camp. He also saying that he knows that Tyson Fury got people in his ear telling him, you know, that he doesn't need to be a part of the training camp, Big John Fury. So what John Fury is saying, he's saying that now he's going to have 4 weeks to convince Tyson Fury to listen to what he's telling him. And he says that he knows his son, eventually he'll get through to his son, and his son will eventually listen to him. But he's afraid for Tyson Fury because all in all, he don't think that shit that Tyson Fury was trying in the first fight that it'll work in this fight. And the reason he don't think that is because, see, they scared. Their back is on the ropes. They're looking for a way out, right? They've been looking for a way out, even though if he has to pull out due to his daughter, I understand because it's a legitimate excuse, right? You got to put your family and your children first. So don't get me wrong. If you know what I'm saying, but they've been looking for a way out, and he's telling you plain straight up and down that he is afraid for his son, right? He don't like the way his son been training, and he don't like the way that Crunk Gym is training him. Now, why wouldn't you like the way that Crunk Gym is training you if you went and did what you did the second fight? Is because they know they cheated. And they know they're not going to be able to get away with what they did in the second fight, right? They know they're not going to be able to get away with the tactics that they use to beat Deontay Wilder in the second fight, and that's downright cheating. You going to say he didn't cheat? We just seen, right? We just seen Michael on Saturday, right? Try to do the same shit that Tyson Fury was accused of doing, right? Moving all of the cotton down to the fucking to the bottom of his gloves, so his knuckles would be basically busting through. It ain't no fucking padding in the glove, right? So every time he hit Deontay Wilder was getting all knuckle, right? You seen exactly, and I forgot who I was watching, and they put up a video to where somebody basically displayed how you do the glove, how you thread the glove and move all of the padding down to the fucking bottom of the glove. So when you, and they show, once you do that, right, and you ball your fist, all you see is knuckles because there ain't no fucking padding in the glove. They knew that they know now they're not going to be able to do that. That's the reason why he's telling Tyson Fury, well, you need to go back to your old style. You don't need to fucking be, trying to be a knockout artist, because they know he's not a knockout artist and he never was. Because why would you fucking change your style when you won so easy the last fight? If you did it, right? If you did it without cheating, because you didn't do it without cheating. So you need to change up. And he knows that Tyson Fury can't fight that style because he's not a knockout artist and he can't punch his way through a wet paper bag in the heavyweight division. Has never been a knockout artist. But they're not going to be able to cheat. That's why Big John Fury is afraid. That's why they already making excuse after excuse after excuse. I never seen nobody that dominated a fight so easy come back and have to make a million fucking excuses on the run back, right? And then this man got a nerve enough to say that it's absurd. That, well, then he says that, he has to fight Deontay Wilder no matter what, and it's absurd that he has to fight him next. Why is it absurd, right? When y'all signed the contract, y'all signed those papers. It wasn't absurd, right? When you signed the fucking contract in the first place. So this man is all over the place, right? And the reason that he does not want this fight to go through is for a simple fact, is that he's nervous and he knows all eyes is going to be on the whole camp. And they're not going to be able to get away with that. So if this fight does take place, remember I'm telling you, it's going to be a million excuses, and they're going to say, oh, he wasn't training, properly. He wasn't, because of this and because of that was going on. He wasn't able to focus and this, and that, right? So they're going to try to get out of the fight. Big John Fury is already advising Tyson Fury to pull out of the fight. And he's telling y'all right now, he doesn't give a damn about this fight. If he have to pull out the fight, it is what it is. He don't care about the fans. He don't care about none of that shit. So prepare for this fight not to take place, and prepare for them to use any excuse that they can to pull out of the fight. PLG Ski, what's happening with it? Kojo 5500, what's good with it? Earl Taylor Sr., what's happening with it? DP Rocker, what's good with it? Juan Ramos, what's happening with it? Let me see what else. Who we got up in here? We got my man Tay Jones in the building. What's good with it, Tay? Tay Jones says $1 million fine and a lifetime ban if he get caught cheating. Is that what you're talking about? If he get caught cheating, or if he don't take the fight. But yeah, he got to take that fight. Whether they try to, basically, don't be surprised if they pull out of the fight and cancel the fight. But whenever he does come back, he still will have Wilder right there waiting for him, because he can't get out of fighting Wilder if he want to be a professional boxer, right? If he still want to box professionally, he going to have to fight Wilder, whether it's, in October or whether it's later down the line. He's not going to be able to get away with cheating. So they back is up against the wall. That's just what it is. But yeah, one of y'all.
Tay said if he
pull out. So Tyson Fury will get $1 million fine and a lifetime ban if he pulls out. So his back is up against the wall. He knows whatever he does, whether you can take this ass whooping now or you can pull out and take it later. But if he does have a situation with his daughter where he, uses that to where he says, I have to pull out, we're going to have to postpone it. Well, that's a legitimate situation. I'm pretty sure they'll let him get away with that. But whenever he come back, he's going to have to fight Deontay Wilder anyway. So it is what it is. And one of y'all can cook on this, man.
So
I want to have Wilder feel.
My bad. Y'all hit my like button. If you in the building, the least thing that you can do is hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. Hit the like button, y'all. But go ahead, Money.
I was gonna say I wonder how Wilder feel because Wilder, he got a heart for children, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially little girls at that. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder how you feel. I know that'd be. I know he have mixed emotions on that thing. You feel me? Because it's like, damn, man, we got pushed back to October now. Now what's next? Yeah, October, November, December. Shit, that probably don't even happen this year, probably, bro. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you want to have compassion. You feel me? You want to have compassion, but at the same time, bro, we got obligations. You know what I'm saying? We got obligations, and I still got a career and a life to live too. So that's gonna be the only thing to me on how Wilder feel about it. Like I say, to have a situation like that with your baby girl, you got to pull out. I understand it, bro. You feel me? I understand it. So it's gonna come down to what Wilder wants. I think. I don't think it's gonna come down to what Fury wants. I think it's gonna come down to what Wilder wants. He don't give a fuck
Right.
that he right.
Yeah, yeah. So Tay said Wilder sitting right next to him. He ain't caring
Okay.
about. He ain't. You know what I'm saying? He ain't sweating none of that. He
Yeah.
wants it,
So
but he like fuck all that. I didn't wait it too long. The fight
yeah,
gonna happen.
the obligation, bro. The obligation, like you put out already. In that time, the fight should have happened in July. And we all feel like that's bullshit. We all feel like that's bullshit. You feel me? So I'm riding with the champ, man. Even though I feel like what he feel, because that's what it come down to. It come down to what Deontay Wilder wants. Don't matter what nobody else think, what they feel, or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? If it's the obligation, they got to fight in October. You got to fight in October. And I like what you said, Key, on the simple fact of why do you want him to go back to his old style if his first style was so dominant over Deontay Wilder? You feel me? If you ran through him so easy, you beat him so easy, right? And then you come out, I'm my big dog, I'm gonna run through you like an 18 whatever the fuck he said, all that shit, right?
Right,
All
right.
that shit. Okay, then come show me, motherfucker. Come show me you gonna run through me. Like I say, bro, all them smoking mirrors, they see Deontay Wilder. I don't give a fuck what they say. They can talk that shit about Malik Scott, this, that, and all that shit. They seen it. They seen it. Like we said, we seen what Wilder did to Bermain Stavern in the first fight, and he looked good as fuck. D just got away from it. Now that he's bringing that shit back, he's showing them other tools that people thought that he didn't have. And you don't look that good not having them tools, bro. You don't look that good. That boy Keto like he has a motherfucker stuck on that screen.
Yeah, that boy stuck like a
Oh
mother.
shit!
Huh?
Nah,
What you
boy,
said?
you should just saw the
You
screen
was
had you
stuck
looking.
look like you had just hit a good one, boy, and you stuck again right now.
Boy, look
I
like they
don't know
shot that.
what's going on with my internet service. It keep doing that, man. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, boy, look like they shot it up in veins for a minute, boy, like he went on out. But you know, um, you don't look that good doing the shit
Hey,
Deontay
you
Wilder doing.
so go ahead.
Yeah, you don't look that good doing that shit Deontay Wilder doing with Malik Scott like that. I don't give a fuck what you say. A motherfucker that ain't got no skills or this, that, man, you ain't moving your motherfucking head, dipping down low, hitting the body, coming back up, doing all that shit like that without knowing how to do that shit already. That shit ain't just, oh, he just learned. Wilder Ben knew how to do that shit. He just wasn't using that shit, bro. He just wasn't using it. And now that they looking at that shit, they like, God damn, we got to deal with this shit now on top of that power. Because all it takes is one shot. And like I said, I'm going to continue to say this. This is my theory, brother. I'm continuing to say this. Deontay Wilder didn't need to go do shit different for Tyson Fury. This is just my honest opinion. If it's on an even playing field, Wilder go knock his ass out. He gonna knock
He
him out.
showed that the first fight.
Yeah, like he showed in the first fight. You mean to tell me from the first to the second fight, Tyson Fury didn't show us that he got no fucking better with them fights that he had, bro. No better. He didn't do shit. Nothing spectacular in those fights showed us that he got better or that he was just coming out to be this dangerous motherfucker. Because he didn't even knock them motherfuckers out. But all of a sudden, when he get to Deontay Wilder, he can come forward with all his goddamn power.
Motherfucker
Come on,
got
man.
heat. The motherfucker heat man and shit all of a sudden.
Yeah, motherfucker got the punch of Zeus now. So now, like I said, if it's on the even playing field, but now that just made Wilder that much more dangerous, that made him that much more focused. And I think what scared him is Deontay Wilder only focusing on Fury after the fight leading up to now, bro. So you got Malik Scott training, watching everything this motherfucker does, his goods and his flaws. But like we say, Fury do some shit good. We ain't gonna take that away from him. He got a good boxing accent. He got good head movement. He can move to be that big and that tall. But I don't give a fuck who you is, bro. You ain't gonna survive that Deontay Wilder punch. You ain't gonna survive that shit. The dude hit too fucking hard, bro. And even if you do survive, he gonna put your ass on the canvas at least one time, bro. At least one time. So when Tyson Fury coming forward with that much confidence, bro, I don't care what nobody say. I knew some bullshit was in the game, cause he ain't walk forward to nobody like that. He just all of a sudden, the hardest hitting motherfucker in boxing history, you could just walk towards his punch and take his punch. Nah, miss me with that shit, bro. So it's what D want, man. It's what he want. Like I said, I understand the situation with the daughter. You feel me? And the pulling out of things of that nature. But with Deontay Wilder, like I say, man, it's a rock in the hard plate. It's like fuck that shit. I've been waiting this long. I've been waiting that long. I'm not gonna wait all the way to next year, bro. I've been training my ass off. Now I get to the point to where you could overtrain. You know what I mean? You not doing shit, Fury. So you cool. You not really training for real. So once you get the training, it's just like you start with motherfucker. I've been training, focusing, making sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice, getting ready for this goddamn fight. And here it is. We got another situation. Nah, man, let's just get this shit over with. You can go on home, handle your business, however you want to do it. You're obligated now. You're obligated to the contract, and you got to honor that shit. And I ain't gonna be mad at Deontay Wilder if he say fuck that. Get your bitch ass in this ring. Let's get this fight over with. Cause I'm finna knock your ass out. And Sophia coming back to Alabama, baby. And then we'll go get our brothers and sisters next after that. But go ahead, knockout.
Right. And let me read this super chat. D Luckett off in the super chat. Salute to you, and appreciate you showing love and support. He said Wilder started boxing based on his daughter's condition. Why pull away from a fight that can help your daughter? Fury duck it. And that's a good point. That's a good point my man made. And Wilder is like, and probably, you know what I'm saying, from what I'm hearing from Tay, Wilder, like, you know what I'm saying? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and I can understand if Wilder, like, hey, I feel for you, brother, but you got to go through with this fucking fight. Because if you hadn't to pull that bullshit that you just pulled with that COVID shit, right? You wouldn't have never had to go through this situation because the fight would have already been over with and you would have had all of the time in the world that you needed to attend to your daughter, right? Or if you had took the fight months and months ago when you were supposed to do it, instead of making me have to drag you in court, right? We would have had it back then. So yeah, I'm sorry for you. I do feel for your newborn. I do wish that she pulls through. But at the end of the day, nah, homie, ain't no way out of this.
Right, I got my life. I got my motherfucking life to live too. Shit, fuck
you
that
feel
shit.
me? At the end of the day, nope. I'm sorry.
That ain't them hospital bills.
That's your problem because you shouldn't have did what you did before.
Well, yeah, them hospital bills, that shit high as a motherfucker. So nigga, you need that money.
Yeah, so let's get this money, right? Let's get this money, and we're gonna help your, like my man said. Let's get this money, right? Let's make this money, and we can help your daughter better by making this fight happen. Knockout. Let me let you cook on this, man.
Yeah, bro. So, and you right there at the end, that's exactly what I was gonna talk about. What the homie D Lucky put in that super chat, and what you just said right there. Like, we can learn a lesson from this, and people probably like, damn, bro, how the hell can you learn a lesson from Tyson Fury? Look, bro, this is why, as men, as human beings, as women, this is why you handle your business accordingly and you do stuff correctly the first time, bro. I hope his daughter comes back nothing but healthy. I hope she gets over this. All the success to her, all the blessings to her. I hope that she, overcomes this and comes out healthy. But with all of that being said, bro, like, you could have an extra, 20, 25, 30, 40 million in the bank right now to help her through this situation. If as a man, screw boxing. If as a man, you did shit accordingly and you did shit correctly. You gave your word and you signed for something. You said, look, bro, I'm going to fight you for a third time. Now, let's say if you were a man of your word and you fought him the third time later on in 2020 like you were supposed to. Let's say you beat him because to you and your team, you beat him so good the second time. Let's say you beat him the third time. You could have already had another fight against Anthony Joshua earlier this year if you had moved correctly throughout the whole time, bro. Throughout the whole entire time. And now we're looking at millions and millions of dollars to help your family, to help your daughter, to help them get through this if she need. And Money said it, I heard him say it, and I'm going to repeat it. The medical bills is high, bro. the medical bills is high. So you'd have even more money and more resources to help her out the way that she should have. That's why me personally, I tell my people I love them when I get ready to go to the house. I don't go out the house. I don't give a damn if it's the grocery store. I don't give a damn if I'm just going to the mailbox or some shit, because you never know what's gonna happen. You never know what life is gonna throw at you. So you gotta act accordingly, and you gotta be somebody that has integrity and do what you say you're gonna do and do what you're supposed to do at all times, bro. And so while I have sympathy for Tyson Fury's situation, bro, nobody told you to get a corona. If you believe Bob Arum, no one told you to get half of a corona vaccine and then not get the other half. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you still would have got COVID anyway, and the fight in July would have had to be postponed.
I don't think he had no fucking COVID.
I know. I agree wholeheartedly. No one told you to do that. If that's the truth, I believe you're lying. But what if you got the whole second vaccine? Maybe you still would have been able to fight on July 24th, because maybe you wouldn't have got it. No one told you to do that. No one told you to lie, because I believe you're lying, and you promoted lying and said that you had the whole vaccine. No one told you to do that back on July 24th. No one told you to duck out of your contractual obligations and lie to us as fans repeatedly over and over and over and over again. So again, bro, while I have sympathy for this situation with his daughter, we can't let that make us forget all of the bullshit along the way since he fought Deontay Wilder back in February, bro, of 2020. So I don't want to hear that, bro. I think, should he go on with the fight? I mean, I think that's up to Deontay Wilder at this point, because I believe that Tyson Fury has lost any leverage or any say-so to say, hey, I'm going to do this, because you put so much bullshit in the game from the outset of pushing this third fight back, to where now it's like, bro, you the boy who cried wolf. We all heard the story. Now your house is really getting blown down, and people are like, oh, well, bro, you said it was getting blown down the first time. That shit didn't happen. You said it was getting blown down the second time. That shit didn't happen. Oh, now that it's really getting blown down, I'm supposed to believe you? And so that's what happens when you lie, bro. Once you start lying the way that Tyson Fury lies, bro, once you become a drug cheat the way that he was a drug cheat, once you do all of this shit, now you can tell the truth and nobody cares, bro. Nobody believes you, because now once you start that, open up that Pandora's box of being known as a liar, people gonna think everything that come out your mouth is a lie. And that's why when D. Luckett said, man, he ducking, we don't believe him. Somebody said, yeah, that's a good point, D. Luckett, because even in the midst of this, you can see the picture of the poor little girl on the ventilator in the hospital bed, and you can still have in the back of your mind, man, is Tyson Fury doing some bullshit, bro? Like, is this shit serious? Just because of who he has proven himself to be and who he is as a person. So if you're Deontay Wilder and you feel like you waited too long and you still want your fight in October, I mean, at this point, like D. Luckett said, and like Money said, and like Keith said, bro, like, shit, the money gonna help your daughter more than anything, bro. Being able to provide for her, what if she needs special care after all of that shit is over, that shit's gonna help, bro. So, whatever Deontay Wilder, says he should do in terms of fighting, if he want to fight on October 9th, the fight should go on. If Fury and them do try to postpone it because of a situation with his daughter, this will probably be the first time I won't shit on him for postponing the fight. You know what I mean? Because that's a serious situation. I got kids myself, but at the end of the day, let this be a lesson to all of us, bro. When you lie, don't get mad if people don't believe you when you finally start telling the truth, because you dug your own hole by being a liar in the first place. That's why you should always have integrity, and you should always tell the truth, bro.
Right. And one thing I gotta say is about that vaccine thing that you brought up. Remember when Bob Arum did that interview and he said both camps have been fully vaccinated. Remember he said that.
Yeah.
All facts. I'm just saying, if it was true, you still didn't get the second vaccine, so you still wrong for that shit too. Either way, you're wrong, bro. That's all I was saying.
But they lied on themselves before, because Bob Arum came out and did an interview and said when he was talking about the Tio, when he was talking about the Tio Fimo Lopez situation, he said the good thing about Wilder and Fury, both camps have been fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated mean that you took two, so you need to get your lies straight. Now, let me get get this super chat in real quick. Abdul Anwar, what's happening with it? Salute to you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming through, showing love and support. He says Fury, the only two-time champ that has never defended his belt. He is trying to get out of his fight. The mental health or drug card is next. Watch. And I mean, he has a history of doing this, y'all. Like Money said, it's like the boy who cries wolf, right?
Knockout.
I mean, like Knockout said, it's like the boy who cries wolf, and he got a history of doing it. Like my man just said, right? He ain't never defended his title before. Never. Been the champ on 2 different occasions and never has defended his title before, right? And so just like he has a history of doing that. He got a long rap sheet of cheating, right? Even if y'all didn't know, y'all see nobody even. Why is nobody talking about the UK fighter that came out and said that Tyson Fury and his camp poisoned the man food? Ain't nobody talked about that. You got a whole nother man that Tyson Fury fought. I think it was like, I think he said around like 2011, 2012. They fought for the UK Commonwealth belt or something like that, right? And this man came out and said that Tyson Fury poisoned his food. And he said he knew something was wrong when he stepped in the ring, right? But check this out. It's impossible for Deontay Wilder to get his water poisoned. But that's a whole nother situation in itself that I could cook on for hours and hours. But at the end of the day, you got a rap sheet. You have a rap sheet. And like Knockout said, if people start saying that you just making an excuse to pull out of the fight, well, what can you say? What can you say when you've done things like this repeatedly before? But I feel Wilder. If Wilder is like, nah, fuck that. I'm not finna wait around no more. You got to get this smoke.
Exactly, bro.
I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? And because Wilder's like, hey, I have sympathy for your daughter and your family, but I don't have no fucking sympathy for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make that choice.
That's
You
like
got to
another
get in the
star
ring with me when this date was set in October, on October 9th, or hey, you know, I get you, attend to your family, right? But you got to suffer the consequences for not for what's happening right now with your daughter, right? Because ultimately, you're not suffering the consequences for what's happening to your daughter right now. You're gonna have to suffer the consequences for not being a fucking man and not standing on your square for what you did before, right? What goes around, it's gonna come back around in full circle, and you're gonna have to fucking meet your fate. That's just what it is.
and that's what it is right now, Keith. That's exactly what it is right now. He paying for it. Cause that's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, it don't matter how motherfucker feeling in the inside, right? And then I'm thinking, like, bro, you got me waiting all this time, bro. Like this a whole fucking year that went by. You want me to wait all the way to next year? Like, bro, my life gotta go on too, right? You putting my whole you stalling my career. Now we could have had this shit over with. I could have moved on, had 2 more fights after this, or whatever the situation may be, and I still got a family to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Yes, I got business and things of that, but this is the bread and butter for me. This motherfucking boxing game. So, like I say, man, I'm gonna ride with the champ or whatever he say, bro. Whatever Wilder say, it goes, and that's what I'm gonna be pushing. Whatever Wilder say goes. It don't matter. Like I say, I understand the situation you can pull out, but like my bro Knockout said, man, the little boy that cried wolf, the little boy that cried wolf. But this is what you must suffer, and this is the consequence behind your actions, right? This is the consequences behind your actions because you want to bullshit and go out here and party and fuck around in Miami, right? Fuck with different blondes and shit with these tight ass skippies on and all that shit instead of handling your business and your obligation. I'm dead ass serious. This ain't a game for me right now. So
And
let's get this over with and you got all the time in the world to go be with your family, man.
right.
So that's just what it is.
And let me say this: in Tay Jones, my brother, Pac-Man Tate, ATL. If y'all ain't sub to him, you know what I'm saying. Make sure that y'all go sub to Pac-Man Tate, ATL, Pac-Man ATL Tate. And I'm trying to find him so y'all can just go, you know what I'm saying, sub to him because he with Wilder right now. And he is going to be going live. Tay, if you're still in the building, Tay, let everybody know what time you're going to be going live because he's going to speak on this situation from, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be able to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? He right there with Wilder. So you're going to be able to hear, you know, what's really going on in the Wilder camp, right? And he going live tonight, he said. So make sure that y'all tune in to his live tonight. I'm gonna be tuned in, and yeah, I'm ready to hear more about what's going on. And Tay, like I said, if you're still in the building, go ahead and let us know what time you finna go on tonight. But knock out. What's your my bad, Money. Was you done? Or
no, I'm done. Go ahead, knock out.
Okay, knock out. Anything else you want to add on this situation before we move on?
No, not really, bro. We just gotta like y'all said, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, bro. That's the law. Like people cannot think that when you lie, when you're dishonest, like you can't think that shit has no consequences behind it, no repercussions, that bill ain't gonna eventually come due, bro. Like at the end of the day, like if it's an uncomfortable situation for you, if you're Tyson Fury, I understand that, bro. But towards you, really no sympathy for you. Towards your daughter, all the sympathy in the world, and wish her nothing but the best. But you gotta do this fight, homie, because as a boxing fan, you done already made people miss out on money on July 24th. As a boxing fan, you done already held up the heavyweight division for a year and a half. And if your decision is not to fight, bro, just retire. Pac-Man Tay said you got to pay $1 million, pay your $1 million, retire, let the WBC strip your ass, and get the hell on down, bro. Get the hell on down. Like at the end of the day, don't nobody want to continue to let you hold up what has the potential to be a great heavyweight division, bro. You need to either fight or let go of the belt and move on, bro. Because at the end of the day, all this stuff, bro, when you lie and you do the shit that he did, I talked to the Prince. I mean, we could go on and on about all the lies he done told, bro. When you do that shit, stuff comes back to you, bro. Like karma is real, bro. And in the universe, no matter what you believe in, we'll just call it the universe. The universe has a way of correcting shit, bro. It has a way of bringing shit back to you that you thought maybe you got away from or wasn't gonna catch back up to you and shit like that. And so, I mean, it's time for him to make a decision. It's a tough decision. I hate for any person to be in that decision, but you got a decision to make, bro. Do you want to continue your boxing career and make these millions? Or you gonna get on down with what you got and retire and ride off with your tail tucked between your legs, bro? That's the decision he gonna have to make, and he need to make it real soon so boxing fans can know what to do. Unlike last time where he cost people all these ticket money and hotel money and flight money and all that shit, we need to know in due time this time, bro, because he had a lot of people out of money, and I'm sure it's a lot of people that still ain't got their money back yet. But that's all I got, bro.
Right. Keon won them people.
They did finally give me my money back.
No, I'm just saying though, still though.
Yeah. It was the whole situation was just horrible, man. The whole situation was horrible. But and Calvin Johnson, y'all, and when y'all go sub to Pac-Man Tay ATL, make sure Pac-Man ATL Tay, make sure that y'all hit that notification button, and y'all hit the notification button for me, for Money Brown TV, and for Knockout Boxing 86 TV also. So when we do come on, when YouTube send out the notifications, y'all will get the notification. Hit that bell icon. Hit the bell icon.
Cause we three of the best doing this, if I must say so myself. So please,
yes, sir.
Do what he said.
Yes, sir. So man, it's just it's an unfortunate situation, but at the end of the day, you would have never been in this situation if you hadn't put yourself in this situation. If you hadn't just been a real man, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, be a fucking man. That's all you got at the end of the day as a man is your word. Straight up and down. But another thing I want to talk about, man. I want to cook on this situation that's going on with Errol Spence, and how all of his haters are trying to spread a narrative. And you got Bernard Hopkins, right? Bernard Hopkins, he comes out and he is helping spread a false narrative on Errol Spence. And my question is why? Why? What is wrong? What does Bernard Hopkins have against Errol Spence? Because, right, Bernard Hopkins knows boxing, right? And he knows that if a doctor does not clear you, you're not able to go into the ring. If a doctor don't clear you, Errol Spence tried to get in the ring. He tried to go through with the fight, but the doctor wouldn't clear him. So he couldn't go against doctor's wishes because it was going to be real bad if he did. Now, Bernard Hopkins, knowing that, why are you coming out with a narrative trying to say, oh, I'm real skeptical of the eye injury, and it's just like, and trying to basically tell this man, oh, well, where are your papers at? You need to show papers. If I had an injury like that, I would show the world papers that it's crazy because Bernard Hopkins, he's trying to play fucking stupid, right? He's trying to play stupid and then trying to say, oh, but if it is true, I wish him a speedy recovery. See, that's that bullshit. That's pure hate. That's pure hatred. And you're trying to push a narrative that you know is false. And to me, when you do some shit like that, that ain't no fucking real man. You're not a real man when you trying to push a narrative that you know is false, but you do it anyway. And my thing is, what is Bernard Hopkins' whole motive behind doing this fuck shit? You know what I'm saying? What is his motive behind doing this fuck shit? Because he knows that Errol Spence has been calling for a Manny Pacquiao fight ever since 2018 and before that, right? He knows that Errol Spence was going to get paid the highest payday that he ever has got paid in his whole entire career, right? So with just those two things being said, why would a man pull out of a fucking fight? A fight that you've been begging and asking for. A fight that you're gonna make your highest payday of your career. And he gonna pull out? You gotta be a goddamn fool to even fucking let something like that come up in your brain. Make it make sense why he would pull out of a fight and fake an injury. Especially a man with the type of character, right? That refused to take a tune-up fight after a life-threatening car crash. And you think he gonna pull out of a fight against a 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao that ain't fought in 2 years? Somebody please make this shit make sense. So that's why I said that these motherfuckers like Bernard Hopkins and everybody else is trying to push a false narrative on Errol Spence, trying to smear his name, right? But for what? Yeah, we know that these faggot ass fans is gonna do this shit. These weirdo fans is gonna do it, right? We know how boxing fans move, but come on, Bernard Hopkins, what's his motive? One of y'all can cook on there. I'll pass it and let y'all cook on this a little bit too.
Yeah, bro. So like the beginning of our conversation that we first started having, we were talking about the fights in the ring and all that. That's what make me love boxing, bro. This shit right here with Bernard Hopkins, this is the shit that make me just be like, bro, I can't stand boxing sometimes, bro, because it seemed like it's this weird thing, and you alluded to it, Keith, where like, bro, like, why is it that the fighters that like have shown us like, yo, I got some integrity, or yo, I actually tell the truth, or when I say I want to fight this fighter, I actually go try to fight that fighter, and I'm talking about your Errol Spence, I'm talking about your Deontay Wilders. Why are those the ones that get like accused of conspiracy theories or accused of being liars, and they trying to hide something, he really trying to duck? He's they ducking because they thought he was gonna lose to Manny Pacquiao. Why did they get accused of that? But when I saw Bernard Hopkins say this shit, I went and I researched. I was like, okay, well maybe he had some questions about Tyson Fury COVID diagnosis too. I couldn't find shit. I was like, okay, maybe he had some questions about Ryan Garcia's mental health, since Ryan Garcia was on the beach with his girl the very next day after having mental health issues. I couldn't find no shit. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe he said something about Teofimo Lopez saying that he sent the contract over to Devin Haney, but then found out that he was actually lying. And I couldn't find him saying no shit about that. But he picked one of the people that's honest to doubt them and accuse them of some shit. And so I came to the conclusion that he just a hater, bro. He gotta just be a hater, somebody that don't like Errol Spence, and he acting like he ain't got no sense. And so whatever Errol Spence does, now he want to see proof. But he didn't ask proof for Tyson Fury. He didn't ask proof for Teofimo Lopez. He didn't ask proof of Ryan Garcia. you take them on their word. You take them on their word when they known for lying and they known for pulling shenanigans and pulling the wool over our eyes. And it's because of statements like this from a legend in the game of such as Bernard Hopkins that fans are weirdos and move the way that they move because y'all know how these weird people work. Oh, if Bernard Hopkins said it, then I have the power to say
Right.
it, or I have the power to say to go ahead and go push that same narrative. You said it best, Key. Like, bro, you just started a whole narrative and you don't even know it. So now when you go in the chat section, right? Now when you go into live streams, you're gonna have people pushing the same shit and they're gonna be saying the same exact stuff that Bernard Hopkins said because of who he is and what he means to the sport of boxing, bro. And it's just sad that we live in that we follow a sport and we make content for a sport to where dishonesty, lack of integrity, and lying, that shit is put on a pedestal, and that shit is what fans love, and that's what they want to root for. But then when you find fighters that have integrity, that actually seek out the smoke, that actually want to go be great, those are the ones that get criticized. The shit don't make sense to me. I'll pass it to Money, and Money, maybe you can make sense of it, bro, because I
And
damn
before
so
money
can't.
go, let me say this real quick. Tay Jones said he coming on. He'll be on. Tay Jones will be on tonight at 8 or 9 Eastern time. 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock Eastern time. He said he'll be on. But go ahead, money.
Yeah, man. When it comes down to the situation, and you look at the situation with Benoit Hopkins, I've been on Benoit Hopkins' ass about Errol Spence just like Roy Jones' ass. What it is with him is he a hypocrite. At the end of the day, like I say, Ryan Garcia is their fighter over on Golden Boy, and I just dropped a video on that. You never once said nothing about Ryan Garcia, not once. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Errol Spence, is y'all pissed off because he didn't sign with Golden Boy, so y'all holding a grudge? Remember when Earl was talking about he wanted Canelo Alvarez? Oh, Earl Spence haven't done enough yet to get Canelo Alvarez. Who are you to say what he had done, if he done enough or not? You know what I'm saying? Oh, this, that about Earl Spence. Like he always had some sly to say about it. But then when it come down to it, like you say, he's trying to cover face. Oh, well, then I always want to pause about 15 damn minutes before he say, I just want to say what they don't want to say. So if something come back around, you'll know that Benoit, nah, get your slick ass on somewhere. You want to make
Straight
like,
up.
oh, Benoit Hockman is the advocate. Benoit Hockman already said that. He said it was going to be this, but then you want to cover your ass by saying if it is true, then I wish him a speedy recovery. Nah, we don't want to hear that shit. It's like Knockout said, you already put a whole narrative out there that is suspicious, and then you try to put, oh, it could be other reason, politics, or lack of what? People keep talking about the lack of weight, trying to say Earl Spence wasn't conditioning. I mean, he went on weight, or he was slipping, or this or that. Like, come on, man, miss us with that bullshit, bro. Miss us with the bullshit, because when you look at the whole situation, when and people come out, they always say, "Well, y'all said this about Tyson Fury." Well, then, if you got COVID, what the fuck should you be doing? Your ass should be fucking quarantining somewhere, chilling the fuck out until it's over with. But instead, we see Tyson Fury out hugging motherfuckers, right, at car dealerships and shit. We see his stable mates who's supposed to have COVID at UFC fights and shit, laughing, taking pictures with people. All right, Teofimo Lopez supposed to have COVID, right? Then we see Bob Burns talking about, oh, the COVID messed this up, but then he signed a new contract to fight Lomachenko and shit, right? They don't look like quarantining. Ryan Garcia, like you say, the mental health situation, he on the beach getting ass and doing all this other shit, right? So it's like they giving us reasons to say, oh well, man, that shit ain't true with them, man. He's
Right.
doing this right. Errol Spence say he had a fucking eye injury that he went and found out that he didn't even know he had his goddamn self until the doctor told him. But this motherfucker come out with this big ass slick rich patch on his eye, right? With the right material that you used from an eye surgery, and now he got to show proof. What proof do you need to see? If that's not proof enough, who want to go into a hospital, Keith? Go to an eye surgery, come out this big ass patch on the eye just to make
Hey,
up some bullshit.
and then on top of that, money, you hear these fucking clown ass dudes coming out talking about he got it on the wrong eye.
Oh,
When
the
did
wrong
y'all?
eye.
How do y'all know what eye he messed up? I never heard nobody come out and say what eye it was.
Right, bro. They talking about this. They say even if the motherfucker misquoted what eye it was, the man got surgery on his eye, bro. Right, and then now they coming out. Oh well, if he shows proof, then doctors they'll set money for anything. You can pay a doctor to write you. I'm saying, man, it ain't gonna never be good enough. So It really don't matter at this point. Like I say, Keith, I'd rather to take this little blow back or them talking about Earl Spence ducking and doing this, that, and all that shit, than actually seeing Earl Spence in the ring with a big ass swollen, fucked up eye and Manny Pacquiao beating the shit out of him because he had a torn retina or some shit like that. You feel me? Because that shit would have been devastating. Pure devastating. So y'all thought y'all was gonna get a slick one. Y'all mad because y'all thought he was finna beat Earl the True Spence Jr. Nah. Y'all really like this shit goes a long way because they really want to say, oh, he beat Earl Spence. The youngest to be this, the youngest to be, I mean, the oldest to be this, the oldest. Now he's better than Floyd Mayweather. We told y'all.
Right.
And then the haters out there, we told y'all Spence one shit. Now look at all you Spence fans. What y'all got to say now? Manny Pacquiao whooped his ass worse than Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman better than Earl Spence. Oh, we told y'all, y'all ain't getting that satisfaction, homie. Y'all ain't getting that satisfaction. So come on with the little ducking narratives and all that bullshit, right? And when Earl Spence eye heal up and he's 110 and he get back in that ring and start knocking that motherfucking ass off, then we'll see what y'all got to say then. Because at the end of the day, you don't risk your goddamn sight, your vision, and your career for a good payday with Manny Pacquiao and maybe the biggest fight of your career. But what's the benefits if you go in there you just got your ass whooped? You feel me? So
Right.
at the end of no, it don't work like that, bro. So much respect to ESJ for making that boss move, like I keep saying, of pulling out that motherfucking fight and putting your life, your health, your kids, and your career first at the end of the day, bro. So they can keep trying, keep that shit go fall flat.
All facts, bro. And real quick on the because we know it's some trolls in here on the people. Well, why y'all ask for proof for Tyson Fury, but y'all just believe Earl Spence? It's very simple. It's called having a brain, bro. It's called when people have had a history of telling the truth. You kind of believe them, but when people have had a history of lying, you kind of want to see a little bit more. So that's all I wanted to say on that because Money touched on it real quick. Like, bro, it's you choose who you believe based on their actions and what they show you. And so if you show me that you've been telling the truth the whole time, I'm gonna believe you. I don't need no proof. But if you show me that you've been lying the whole damn time, I'm gonna need your note, bro. Like if I got an employee that works for me and he always on time to work and he worked good, he show up, he been working for me for 3 years, and he tell me that he calling in sick, I'm gonna be like, all right, bro, just get better and I'll see you when you get back to work. I ain't gonna ask him for a doctor note. But if I got an employee who tire always run flat, who always got an emergency that's always late to work, that take off one time for work every 2 weeks, guess what? When he tell me he's sick, I need to see a doctor's note, bro. That's just what it is, bro. But that's all. I'm done.
Right.
Put the
Right.
seatbelt on when you jump in my car, man.
Hey, it makes no sense. I mean, why would you duck a fight that you push for, right? If he didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao, he could have easily said, nah, you know what I'm saying, go ahead with the Ugas fight. Make the
Facts,
Ugas fight.
facts,
It just
bro.
makes no sense. It don't make no fucking sense. But one thing, it's a lot of questions surrounding this Errol Spence eye injury, right? He had a partial tear, right? It didn't get detached, but when it get detached, that's when your whole eyeball moves down. You know what I'm saying? You could basically lose your eye. Now, Abner Mares spoke on this, right? And he said that he had the same exact injury, right? A partial tear. He said he had the same exact injury, and Abner Mares, he had it in both of his eyes, right? Two separate occasions. But he says it took him a year. It took him a year to where he was, able to get contact and fully come back. So it's a lot of questions surrounding because I know Errol Spence is saying that he'll be back in no time. He'll be back early 2022 to fight the winner, right? But it's really up in the air. We really don't know how long this injury is going to keep him out because from hearing and Abner Mares, he said that he had the same exact injury, a partial tear. He found out kind of the same way. He said he really didn't know, you know what I'm saying, and found out when he got an eye exam or whatever after he ended up having to get an emergency surgery also. And he said he was out. He was out for like a year. So I don't know what y'all got to say about that. It's a lot of
I would
questions
just I would just
answered.
say this, bro.
Hold
I
on,
would
my
just
guy.
say this. If
I
you
missed.
go
Who
ahead,
said they was
my
out for
bad.
a year? Nah, you can go down. I just want. Who said they was out for a year?
Abner Mares.
Even
Abner
Mario said
Oh,
that, but
oh,
what I was gonna say is this: if you look at If you type in, I know he's probably, I don't know if it's because he wants to be a part of the story or people are interviewing him, but if you go look it up, the article is still up on ESPN right now. It says he had surgery for a detached retina, which is that completely different injury that we all been talking about. So it's still up on there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it says. I don't know if he was just doing the interview and trying to, you know how some people will get in there and be like, hey, man, yeah, I had the same thing, and this is what happened to me. But it says detached retina all over the interview. So
he said that he had two.
Yeah,
right?
he did, bro.
So one of them might have been the detached, and the other one might have been the torn retina.
Because the torn
he spoke on it.
Yeah, it was for Tank in the spawn, y'all. He had to go get it fixed.
Yeah, because he spoke on it, and he spoke on it. And he said that he had, he had two eye injuries, and he said that one of them was the same exact injury that Errol Spence had, and he said it took him a year to recover from that injury. So, to clear that up, he did have two. So one of them could have been a detached retina, and the other one could have been a torn.
I remember, Key, and look, he had the same fucking patch on that Errol Spence had on his eye.
Yeah, he did.
Morris, bro, the same fucking patch. And Abdul, hit him up on the Cash App, bro. YouTube do that funny shit, bro. Just hit him up. They'll go to Cash App, KT double at the $ KT double. Much love, much appreciated, champ.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Much love, Abdul.
But everybody here different too, Key. You know what I'm saying? Like by him already having a situation, was it? I don't know if he said it was the same eye or a different eye, but I think Earl, by him having a tear and not really getting hit like that, I don't know if it's really going to affect him that much to that point. So okay, yeah. So with that situation, bro, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. EJ said he'll be back soon. Hopefully he don't rush that shit. If it do supposed to take him X amount, but I'm quite sure the doctors will let him know. Hold on, I want to tell you something. I'm quite sure the doctors will tell him, the timetable. God, come back. Yeah, I'm quite sure they will tell him, the timetable, him coming back and shit like that. So I just want him to take the right precautions, man, and don't, do shit to fuck it up even worse than nuts of that nature. Because this something like I said, I did when I was doing psychology and shit. All this shit came up to it, back to record and all that shit, and I still got my book, so I'm gonna go check it out. So I'm gonna look at it and look at how that play out. But one doctor had broken down real clear, man, on BFTV show, great show, BFTV, where he talked about that situation, how Errol Spence couldn't fake nothing like this. You can't fake nothing like this, bro.
I see you played it on your show.
Yeah, you can't fake nothing like this. So it's gonna come down to how bad the tear was, and how do it affect because Earl looked like he was saying very clearly. So it's just gonna come down to the timetable. Well, with Alvin Morez, I think by him having that situation, and I think he really fucked this shit up worse than Earl, even though it's the same injury. I think his shit probably was a little bit worse than Earl Spence. But Alvin Morez went through this shit, man. That's why he say fuck boxing, and we can see how it turned out for him every time he's looking in the camera. How sometimes he got to turn his head to the side, or he got to wear them glasses, bro. So it's a serious injury. So they can run around here and act like this ain't shit, but that's because they walk around with their vision. They ain't the one getting punched in the goddamn face. Go ahead, knock out my brother.
Well, one thing I gotta ask, I'll say real quick, because you get it repaired, it is fixed, right? Now, does getting punched in it, is it acceptable to? Does it cause you to be able to have that same injury again, or is it just like brand new? Now, one thing we do know is a lot of people say that they when the light is shined anywhere in their face near them, it's pain. You still can't take that light. So how does it affect him? Is he able to heal up within a month and get punched in it and it ain't gonna do nothing, or does it affect him down the road to where when he gets under the bright lights, it's gonna be painful for him to get under the bright lights? We don't know, but go ahead, knockout.
I didn't have too much more. I just was over here while y'all were talking, doing some more research. So, I don't know, bro. It said he had a detached retina back in 2008, and he was out for a year. And then they said he detached his retina again, leading up to the Tank Davis fight, which he had to pull out of, and he hasn't fought again. So I can't find anywhere where it says he just had a small tear in his retina. So I don't know, man. I'm not calling Abner Mares a liar. I'm just gonna say again, I'm gonna err on the side of Errol Spence saying I'll be back sooner rather than later. I'll be back shortly. It's just a small tear. And everything that I've looked up, and again, it's not a doctor talking. Everything I looked up said that that's about a month and a half injury. Again, boxers, they get hit in the face for a living, so I don't know what that means for him. But I'm hoping it's not a whole year. But at the end of the day, if he has to be out for a whole year because he needs to heal up, then so be it. But based on what he's saying, based on the mood of him, cause I don't think if he be in good spirits and his homies and shit will be joking about shit with him if he was gonna be out for a whole year. Like they wouldn't feel so good about just playing with him about it already. You know what I'm saying? Like he just came out of surgery. He found out not only did he miss the biggest fight of his career, but now he about to be out for a whole year. And your good friends that are real close to you, they already joking about that shit. Them ain't really friends, bro. So if you look at the whole situation like that, I'm optimistic that it won't be a whole year, but we'll see, man. We'll see. But I'm choosing to be more positive, I guess, is the overall theme of what I'm trying to say, bro.
Yeah. And hopefully, a partial tear it is, he gonna be able to get punched in it shit in a month and a half from now, it ain't gonna affect him. But like you said, you made a good point. We gotta watch Errol Spence and see what he says. Because one thing, when you do, even when football players tear their ACL or Achilles, when their first statement, even like Conor McGregor, he had that horrible injury. He's like, I'll be back in no time. So that's your first. That's what you want to. That's your first thing. I'll be cool. I'll be back in no time. I'm gonna get back faster than what the doctors are telling me. But we gotta wait. A couple weeks from now or whenever. And we gotta see. Continue to watch Errol Spence and see what he says about the injury. Because if he come out 2 weeks from now and say, "Hey, I'm good. I'm gonna be back sparring and training, in a couple weeks or whatever," then of course that's what it is. But so we just gotta, wait. We gotta wait, I guess. Money, what's your take on that?
My bad, yeah. I was talking to. I know you said about Earl Spence. Could you repeat that? I'm sorry, bro. I'm over trying to help my little nephew out with something.
No, I was just saying we basically, we don't know. It's up in the air. We gotta wait and see. I said because when you're an athlete and you suffer an injury, like you could, like Conor McGregor did, right? His first thing when he first came out, I'll be back in no time. Because in their head they're like, okay, I'm Superman. Whatever the doctor tell me, I'm gonna be back before what the doctor's saying, right? So with Errol Spence's situation, we gotta kind of wait and see what he says the next couple weeks. If the next couple weeks you see him cool and he like, hey, I feel good, I'm gonna be back training and sparring, real soon here, then we know it ain't that serious. But we just gotta wait around and watch and see if Errol Spence says anything and see,
Facts, and it's gonna come down to him going back to see that doctor too, because you gotta go do them checkups. So that's what it's gonna come down to, man. See if he can come back this year or not, because he's gonna try to push it, but yeah, he got to sit down and take the right precautions. You can't rush something like that. If you gotta wait till next year, then you gotta wait till next year. Like you said, he came back from worse. Yes, it's gonna be a little bump because you haven't fought in a while and shit. You haven't fought none this year, things of that nature. But you gotta do the proper procedures to make sure you come back and everything is okay, bro. Because like I say, it'll be a fucked up situation to get back in there and shit not right, and that shit bother your ass down the stretch, and you got to take that blow and take that hit, because ain't nothing like the eyesight, bro. The vision is what you need to see the punches coming, things of that nature. So when everybody always talking about, he could have did this, no, if you ain't seeing nothing coming, your ass in a fucked up situation. Yeah, a hand, an arm, something like that ain't always healed. You can get in there and work around it, but you ain't working around your eyesight. So I don't want him to chance it, bro. I want him to, to be careful with it, to be careful, because you want to learn the way you fighting and who you fighting real dogs and animals. You know what I'm saying? You fight real dogs and animals, and if they see that motherfucker swelling and they know that you had an eye issue, they gonna try to target that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's the nature of the beast. They gonna try to target it, and if they see some results, a little swelling up under there, they go attack that motherfucker. And as good as much as you try to block it, as hesitant and more cautious you're going to be fighting, and they gonna take advantage of that. So yeah, don't rush it. But like you say, keep got it's gonna be on him. We gotta wait and see the timetable, how he feeling, how he want to go about it. and the sooner the better. But I want to take as much time as you got to take to heal that thing, because you're still a unified champion. I don't think they can do nothing about that right now, trying to script the titles or none of that shit. So I think you still got a little time to go out there and do what you got to do to heal up properly.
Right, right. Yeah. And like Money said, is at the end of the day, it's gonna be all up to that doctor clearing you. So yeah, you can say, I'm cool, I'm all right, I'm straight. You gotta get a doctor's clearance. And that's what initially happened with him trying to go into this Pacquiao fight. He was still trying to go into the fight, but the doctor was like, nah. And he went to 3 different doctors and they wouldn't clear him to fight. So it is what it is. I just hope that he's not out a long time. I hope that he's able to come back very soon and like knock out his hand. When you look it up, it says that it only takes a week to 4 weeks to heal. But we don't know when it comes to boxing, how long it's gonna take for them to clear you. Healing and being cleared is 2 different things. But knockout. Anything else you want to say about this before we wrap it up?
No, man, I think we said it all, bro. I'm good.
Cool. Before we get up out of here, make sure that y'all hit my like button, right? We got Austin Trout is fighting tonight. I'm not sure what network he's fighting on or where he's fighting at. I know he is fighting tonight. So I'm gonna try to find out where he's fighting at, where we can watch it at. So I just want to give y'all a heads up. Austin Trout is fighting tonight. And then tomorrow we got a jam-packed full day of boxing. Make sure that you hit my like button, sub to the channel if you're not already subbed. Make sure that you hit Money Brown TV. Go sub to his channel if you're not already subbed to him. And then go sub to Knockout Boxing 86 TV and hit the bell icon for all of us. What's your last words, Knockout, before we get up out of here?
I just want to say I appreciate you having me on the panel, bro. Salute to you. Salute to Money. Always great to talk boxing with you, brothers. And I was looking it up just now, and I got some bad news. It looked like Austin Trout done already fought today, bro. Looks like that fight is already happening. Hell yeah, bro. It says here, Austin Trout secures his 3rd win in a row.
God damn.
I'm dead ass here, bro. Already, bro. No. Yeah. At Hotel Atlantis, yup. He just beat the Vila. He already beat him, bro. He won a 10-round. He run a 10-round decision, bro. It went all the way and he won, bro.
Damn.
It ain't updated the box rec yet, but if you go put his name in Google, the shit just updated like an hour or 2 ago. That's crazy. But yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, bro. Hotel Atlantis is like somewhere in the Bahamas or some shit, bro. It's one of them all-inclusive resorts or some shit. So they on a completely different time zone than we are, bro. But yeah, I just thank y'all for having me on, bro. And I'm gonna drop my link in the chat. Y'all come subscribe to me over there at Knockout Boxing when you get a chance. And obviously y'all already subscribed to these 2 great brothers, but if not, y'all need to make sure y'all do that because they're 2 of the best in the game, man. I really, really enjoy talking boxing with y'all. It's always fun to be on the panel with y'all, man. So I appreciate you having me on, Key. And that's all I got, bro.
Appreciate you, Knockout. Money, what's your last words?
Man, appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love as always, man. Always cooking with my bro Key and my brother Knockout. Knockout and grew on y'all boys out here. Y'all see what it is when you come, you put in the hard work, you get great results, man. And that's what you do. But y'all make sure y'all follow me at Money Brown TV. Follow me at Instagram at Money_the writer. Shit, I thought I was streaming a fight tonight with Austin Trout, but I ain't streaming shit.
You ain't finished.
Damn. I straight wanted to see that fight too, but y'all come on over tomorrow, man. We will be streaming all the fights. We will start at 12 o'clock. We will end at 11 o'clock, like every DAZN card in the UK. It will go down tomorrow. The chat will be jumping. We will be on YouTube as well, man. So y'all come through, show love, continue showing love to my brother, man. It's all love. Y'all know how your boy get down. Big dog status family. Make sure y'all go subscribe to World Combat Sports as well. World Combat Sports, Scotty White, one of the realest in the game, one of the best that's doing it in the business, in the field for real. And he gonna give y'all a real, man. So make sure y'all go subscribe to World Combat Sports.
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all do that. In Knockout Boxing 86 TV, he put his link in the chat. All you got to do is click on that link and hit that sub and Icon, Bell Icon. I appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love and support. We will be back. I might do a live stream after the fight this weekend. That's all. If my son let me do it, I'm gonna try to put him to bed early so I can do a live stream. But until then, y'all already know how I do. I appreciate everybody. Hit that like button before we leave about it. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.